Susan Avitan is suing her ex-boyfriend, Carlos Zuniga, for an unpaid loan and a cell phone bill. Susan says Carlos lied about being married.
It's case number 153 on the calendar in the matter of Avitan versus Zuniga. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Ms. Avitan, according to your complaint, you dated the defendant for about 6 months.
Yes.
You knew at the time that he was married.
Did not know.
Well,
I
read your complaint. So your complaint says that with regard to the cell phone that you claim that you got for him.
Yeah.
The reason that you got it, put your hand down. The reason you say you got him the cell phone was because he told you that his wife was checking on the number.
Right. There's a preface to it. I started working at the animal hospital that we were at probably in July.
Just a second. I'm going to finish my statement, then I'll get back to you. In any event, he was married, you were dating him, and you claimed that you made him a series of loans. In addition, you claim that he asked you to get him a cell phone, you got him a cell phone, he ran up a bill, and he owes you the bill. Mr. Zuniga says that you got him the cell phone because you were calling him 20 times a day, and you were running up his telephone bill, that anything that you did for him was voluntary.
Yes.
There was no agreement to pay you back any of the money that you gave him. And in addition, he's counterclaiming because he says that since he and you are no longer an item, that you've been acting like a nutty lady and seriously harassing him, and he can prove it.
Right.
Okay. So, when did you first start dating the defendant?
I would say probably like the last week in July, maybe.
When did you find out that he was married?
After I started dating him.
Just a second. So, how much after? A week, 2 weeks, a month?
Probably a week or two, I would say.
Okay. But you didn't break off the relationship.
Well, I didn't break off the relationship with him because, number one, he told me that he and his wife were at dire straits, that they would be separating, and he also told me that they weren't getting along.
Well, that doesn't help much. You understood he was still married,
correct,
still living with his wife.
Right.
Okay. Now, let's start out with the cell phone.
The cell phone bills I have here, first of all, I didn't get him the cell phone bill because I was calling him constantly. I got him the cell phone bill because when
You got him the cell phone?
Yeah, cell phone. The time he claims I was calling him constantly, he didn't want my number showing up on his cell phone bill. So he said, should we get another cell phone? I said, I'll put another one on my account for you. And I told him, I said, but you're going to have to pay. I said, there's no reason for me to go ahead and.
Is that what happened, Mr. Zuniga?
No, that's not what happened at all. I have phone bills here from my phone company that'll show you.
For your cell phone?
Right. That'll show you all the time that she did call, and they were all calls within a minute to 2 minutes apart.
But you took a cell phone from her?
Yes.
Tell me why.
Because I told her, once I got my first phone bill, I told her that there were too many phone calls, that this all had to stop. This whole relationship had to stop because of all these phone calls. She didn't agree with it. So then she offered to get me a cell phone bill. She said she was going to buy me one, and then she proceeded to take her boyfriend's cell phone and give it to me.
Why in the world, within the very short time of starting to have a relationship with her, if you saw that she was behaving in an inappropriate way by calling you that number of times in a 1 or 2 day period, why did you continue the relationship?
Because I thought that maybe she would change if, I would tell her that this was becoming a nuisance. Maybe she would change it a little bit. Maybe she would stop the phone calls.
Now, where did you tell your wife you were when you were with her?
Actually, me and my wife were separated for a while.
But not all the time, Mr. Zuniga. So when you weren't separated, where did you tell your wife you were?
I would just leave. I wouldn't tell her anything. Sometimes I would tell her I was with friends, but the majority of the time I would just walk out the house.
Oh, okay. Now, you took money from her.
The only money that I took from her was the money that she used to pay my cell phone bill, which was this one.
How much money did you take?
She made a payment of $100.
All right, so what other monies, Ms. Avitan, do you claim you gave him?
Well, I have here from August 2004, on the 17th of August and the 23rd of August, we had been together that particular evening, and we had decided to go to Hollywood to get tattoos. So I had said to him, I'm going to go ahead and get one. He says, well, can I get this and that, and I'll repay you for it. I said, fine, no problem. Well, because of the fact that we were in a relationship, I took him at his word.
Okay, so tattoos, joint tattoos. What else?
They weren't joint. Then there's a diving mask and the leather phone case and charger for the cell phone that I got him. The phone case and the diving mask were September 15th and September 24th. Then in December was the remote control battery for the car and the satellite radio. And then in November, he asked me to buy him a CD burner. Then there is, in November again, there's window tinting on his truck that I spent $100 for as well. That was supposed to be reimbursed. And then we have the...
okay, so you gave him the first money in August. Is that right?
Yeah.
Did he pay you back that money?
None of it.
You gave him money in September?
None of it.
Shh, listen to me. You gave him money in September.
Yes.
Did he pay you back?
No.
And you gave him money in November?
Yes.
And when you gave him money in November, he hadn't paid back the August, September, October money?
Right.
Huh. So let me explain to you what happened. You gave him a lot of money.
Yeah, I did.
Right. So you have to cross it off. You made a mistake. Put your hand down. I didn't ask you a question. I'm not pleased with you either. We understand each other, sir?
Yes, sir. I mean, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Good. Because as far as I'm concerned, if what you did was, if you were living with your wife, and for at least part of this time you were living with your wife, and you were accepting gifts from her...
Right, but if I could...
I'm speaking. Try looking at my eyes. And if you were accepting gifts from her, that doesn't make you a nice person. Doesn't make her a nice person, doesn't make you a nice person. And it makes me the victim because I got to listen to this baloney.
Right.
You made a mistake. You had no legitimate expectation that he was going to pay you back. Maybe you thought he was going to leave his wife and you were going to be together, but you had no legitimate expectation of being paid back for a tattoo in August, in December, when you loaned him yet more money.
And they weren't separated at the time. They were still living together. They lived with his sister and whoever else.
And according to you, the reason that you gave him the cell phone was that you agreed that his wife shouldn't see when you called him.
Right. But if you'll notice on these bills, he's called his old... used it for everything else.
I don't care. I'm talking about your character, not his.
Okay.
I'm talking about your character.
It was a mistake.
I'm talking about your character, not a mistake.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Get over it.
He's got a kid from another woman, and he's 3. I mean, she cheats all the time.
Are you trying to justify to me the fact that you're an idiot?
And later today...
I'm sitting there for about 10 minutes or so, and he just came up out of the garage and started hitting me in the back of the head, in the face.
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Well, that's the problem when you drink too much, sir.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Susan Avitan says ex-boyfriend Carlos Zuniga owes for a loan and a cell phone bill. Carlos is countersuing for defamation of character.
All right, sir. Now that you understand that you have 0% of my sympathy, I'm going to hear your counterclaim.
Some time ago, this last time I changed my phone number, my cell phone number, when she tried to contact me after I changed it, she couldn't, so then she proceeded to call my wife and left a message on her voicemail stating that she was to tell me that if I think I'm a smart, what she was going to do was file a sexual harassment complaint with the city of Beverly Hills, and that she was going to call my boss and write her letter explaining everything that has happened.
She left that in a message?
Yes.
You have it?
I don't have the message. Unfortunately, we weren't able to record it.
Right.
But,
which I did not.
But I have the letter that she did write to my boss.
As well
and
as
everything is explained there, the defamation of character. I also have a record of several phone bills that she called every time she called me.
No.
Okay.
And if you take a look at these phone records, there are quite a bit of phone calls. They're all highlighted for you.
Why did you go to the police?
Do you really want me to go into the gory details?
Well, first, why don't you tell me when you went to the police?
I went to the police in April.
Shh. You went to the police in April, not while you were dating and intimate with him afterwards.
Yeah. But there's extenuating circumstances as well with that letter. I had a previous...
You were on medication.
No, I should have been.
No, you were on medication.
No.
She tried to get me fired.
I believe that she tried to get you fired.
Well, no, you know what? It wasn't that I tried to get him fired. I was let go from that job because when Carlos and I got involved, it was getting more difficult for me to work with him, obviously, right? And there was an incident in an x-ray room at the hospital that when the detectives brought him in, he lied flat out to them and told them that he didn't do it. And I have a friend that she couldn't be here today, that I told about it right after it happened.
You got fired from your job, so you tried to get him fired.
No, that's not why, because we were still dating at that point.
She also tried to get
Just a second. So what you're telling me is you were still dating and you were complaining that he sexually harassed you in an x-ray room?
No, this was after the fact.
Listen, get over it. Get over it.
Okay.
Stop acting like a baby. How old are you?
Old enough.
Then stop acting like a baby. You fool around with a married guy, you get burned. You lose money, you can lose your job, you lose your self-respect. Lots of bad things happen to you. Get over it.
If I could say one other thing, I work at Hollywood Park at the racetrack, and she also almost got me fired from there. She would call there constantly speaking to my manager.
Oh, you're such a liar,
And then
Carlos.
after
Listen, I don't want to hear from you.
And she even had a big cookie delivered there. When she had that delivered there, right after she had it delivered, she called constantly trying to ask what my reactions were, if I had any comments.
Did you seek a restraining order
Yes, I
against
did.
her? And what happened?
The first time we appeared in court, the judge said that it was just a whole bunch of nonsense and it was foolish. That same day, she contacted me. She called my cell phone. Throughout that month, she called me a total of probably anywhere from 10 to 18 times. When we went back to court, there was a different judge that heard the case the second time. The judge said what she was doing wasn't considered harassment, and he dropped the case. And I have a copy of the restraining order here.
I'd like to see a copy of the restraining order.
The reason he had the restraining order issued to begin with is I had also purchased some tires and rims for him that I wanted back when we had split up that he hadn't paid for. And that's
Listen to me. You bought him a bunch of presents and you got angry.
But that has nothing to do with the tires and rims.
Yes,
Judge
it
Judy.
does.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
He had the restraining order issued to cover it up for his wife. This was a bunch of nonsense. He's been living with her the whole time that we were together. He's lying.
Listen to me. Madam, get over it.
He's got a kid from another woman, and he's 3. I mean, he cheats all the time.
Listen.
I'm not the only one.
So what? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you trying to justify to me the fact that you're an idiot?
Well, yeah, that goes without saying, but...
Are you trying to... I'm telling you, get over it. Get over it. You have no case against him. You made him a whole bunch of gifts because you liked the attention, you liked the affection, you liked the intimacy, whatever it was. He dumped you. It's over.
That's fine.
It's over. So then stop this nonsense. You're the plaintiff here. Put your hand down. Mr. Zuniga, you play with fire, you're going to get burned, sir. Don't come here asking for a court to take up time when you did the wrong thing. If you broke her heart, Mr. Zuniga, because you took advantage of her, you allowed her to buy you gifts, you allowed her to buy you rims for your car, you allowed her to buy you a CD burner, you allowed her to pay for a tattoo, you allowed her to indulge you. And all the time you knew that this was just a temporary thing. You were still living at home. You were lying to your wife. Remember what I told you 5 minutes ago?
Right.
Zero sympathy for you, sir. Courts don't help people like you.
I agree. I mean...
Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He came after me. He's a liar. He's got a child from another woman that's 3 years old. He's been married for 5 years. He's been cheating on his wife since they've been married.
He worked with me. She knows my wife worked there. All the gifts that she gave me, I asked her to take them all back, and she never did.
He would cry to me that his wife was mean to him, and I mean, he's a liar.
He's just one of those types of person that wants to buy people's feelings.
Believe me, I wouldn't do this again for $1 million.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Clapp Miller versus Walker. Step forward, please.
17-year-old Lisa Clapp and her mother, Laura Miller, are suing 22-year-old Tim Walker for medical bills. Lisa says during a St. Patrick's Day party, Tim attacked her, breaking her nose.
Lisa, how long have you known Mr. Walker?
I really don't. He was a friend of my boyfriend's friend, and so like I only saw him a few times.
Did you have any bad words with him?
No, never.
Do you know Mr. Walker? How long you know Miss Clapp?
Yeah, probably about over like a 2-month period. We've met each other a couple times.
You have mutual friends. Is that right?
Yeah. Our mutual friend, like, what do you mean?
What word didn't you understand? Mutual or friend?
Mutual.
You have friends in common.
Yeah, we do.
How old are you?
22.
What do you do?
Brick mason.
You drink?
No, not anymore. I slowed down.
But you did?
Yeah, I did.
Miss Clapp says that you were at a party. It was on St. Patrick's Day?
Yes, ma'am.
She was at a party, and she says that you were really drunk. Are you Irish?
Mm-mm.
What are you?
Polish and Indian.
But you celebrate St. Patrick's Day by drinking.
Well, I've always celebrated St. Patrick's Day.
Good.
But...
And she says that while you were drinking and pretty drunk, you broke her nose. You assaulted her and broke her nose. And Mr. Walker says that drunk or sober, because he acknowledges that he was pretty drunk that day, right, Mr. Walker? He said drunk or sober, he would never hit a woman. He doesn't know why you would, in the world, you would accuse him of that. So why don't you tell me what happened?
Well, we got to the party, my ex-boyfriend and I, and we went in and everyone was drunk. Tim was the drunkest person there. There was like 2 guys there I didn't know, a girl I'd met maybe twice.
I'm not interested in who was at the roster of the party. Just tell me about Mr. Walker, please.
Well, one of the guys that I didn't know, Mr. Walker decided that he wanted to fight him. He threw a couple swings at the guy ducked and said, you know, you're messed up, man, just go to sleep, I'm gonna leave. And the guy left. He was in the driveway, he had kind of just walked off after that, and everyone else had gone into the garage. And he was still in the driveway, and it was pretty dark, and so nobody really knew where he was. And we were all sitting in the garage, and like I'm sitting there for about 10 minutes or so, and he just came up out of the garage and started hitting me in the back of the head, in the face.
You have a police report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it.
They would not give me the photographs.
Were you arrested?
Never.
Were you questioned?
Yes, I was.
Did you say you wanted to pursue these charges?
Yes, I did.
I'm amazed that he wasn't arrested. Why wasn't he arrested?
I don't know.
I don't understand why I would do something like this, because I've watched my mom, when I was younger, get beat by boyfriends. I was raised to respect women. I don't understand. I mean...
Drunk. She is not psychotic. When somebody is assaulted, unless they're psychotic, they want the person who assaulted them either to be punished and or to pay for their injuries. They don't pick somebody that didn't assault them.
No, I just, no, I didn't do it.
Yeah, you did. You know how you did it? You did it because you'd had too much to drink and you were acting like an idiot.
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Well, that's the
so.
problem when you drink too much, sir. You don't remember. How did you get to the party that night?
I actually lived with the guy that was throwing the party.
Do you remember waking up the next morning?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember going to sleep that night?
No, I don't.
Do you remember where you slept that night?
Yes, I do.
Where?
At a buddy's house.
How far away?
Like across the street, another neighborhood.
Some distance away from your regular home.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you get there?
Another buddy drove me.
Why?
Because I don't know, apparently I walked off or something, I don't know.
You have hospital bills, please.
Yes.
That's what I was told. So.
That's what?
I said that's what I was told.
What do you mean that's what you were told?
When I woke up next morning, my friends told me that this is what I did, and I didn't remember it, so...
You didn't remember getting to your friend's house?
No, I did not.
That's what happens when you drink too much. And you hurt her. You broke her nose. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
17-year-old Tiffany Borlov and her mother, Cindy, are suing 17-year-old Alex Kinsel and his mother, Allison Janikowski, for damage to their car. Tiffany says Alex jumped through the sunroof and assaulted her boyfriend.
Yeah, this is case number 178 on the calendar. The matter of Boroloff versus Janikowski Kinsel. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Are you Miss Janikowski?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is your son?
Yes.
Whose name is?
Alex Kinsel.
Alex?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Good. Did you give him a good poke?
Yes, I did.
Perfect. I saw that. It was subtle, but he got it. I'm impressed. Alex.
Yes, ma'am.
I do want you to understand that this is going to be an unpleasant morning for you.
Okay.
Your mother is aware of that, but I'm sure that lately you've had a couple of unpleasant moments with your mother, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You weren't there?
No, ma'am.
And you weren't there?
No, ma'am.
So why don't you have a seat? You're just the question really of liability, and in your case, a question of ownership of the car that was allegedly damaged by Alex.
Yes, ma'am.
When he decided to assault your boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
This young man, yes. I assume?
Yes.
The only problem was your boyfriend was sitting in your car.
Yes.
And your car had a sunroof.
Yes.
So Alex, in order to get to
Tyler,
climbed up on the...
I jumped into the sunroof. I didn't climb.
Jumped from the pavement
Yes.
into the sunroof.
Yes, ma'am.
Sort of like Spider-Man. Faster than a speeding bullet, right? Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
You're kind of mixing out heroes, but that's it.
That's one of them.
Yeah,
Superman.
yeah.
Spider-Man. Whatever. So you were able to do that, right?
Yes, ma'am. When you're mad and the adrenaline's rushing, sometimes you do things you don't expect you can do.
So now you want him to pay for the damage that he allegedly caused to your car, right? Alex says through his mother that he's very sorry for assaulting Tyler, which he freely admitted in juvenile court, and he was placed on probation.
Yes.
So he's paying for that crime, and he's sorry he did that, but he didn't damage the car.
No, ma'am.
Because, like Superman, he was able to bound from the sidewalk through the sunroof to get to Tyler without ever touching the car. Right? So now, Alex, what?
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm just picturing it.
I want you to, I tried to draw a word picture to you to get you interested in what's going on.
I'm very interested.
Good. So, why don't you tell me why you decided to assault Tyler?
Almost a year ago, my friend Kevin was killed, Kevin Farrell. And it was due to the fact that Tyler had robbed someone and placed the blame on Kevin.
A year before this happened?
Yes, ma'am.
Who killed your friend?
Lee.
Was he ever apprehended for this murder?
He was apprehended and he got criminal confinement and is still in courts right now, I believe.
Or was he convicted?
Of criminal confinement.
Of criminal confinement? What is criminal confinement? I never heard of that.
When they hold them against their will in a car with weapons.
You know these people? Do you know these people?
Unfortunately, yes.
What are they, all these gang people?
No.
Just criminals?
Yes.
Oh, you're terrific. Okay, so according to you, he's responsible for your friend's murder.
Yeah, if it wasn't for him, my friend would still be alive right here now.
Okay, so that's why you were angry with him?
Yes.
Is that why you assaulted him?
That's one of the reasons. They also provoked me.
How did they provoke you?
By flicking me off, saying stuff, parking right next to my car the day it happened.
You mean the day that this assault happened?
Yes.
So they parked next to your car. She parked next to your car?
Yes, and she told me that Tyler had hit her that day, and that angered me as well. And he's supposed to be out of school 10 minutes earlier than all the other students, so he's actually trespassing.
Step up here. Why is he supposed to be out 10 minutes earlier?
Because there's so many people after him for the reason what he did.
You have a special schedule at school, Tyler?
Yes, ma'am. For safety precautions, I leave 10 minutes early at the end of the day, and I come 10 minutes late every morning.
And he did not do that. So if he
So
would
for all of those reasons, you decided that you were going to assault him?
Yes.
Ma'am, a couple of weeks earlier, he had spit in my face at school also before all this had happened and got in trouble.
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
It's his fault my friend's dead.
No.
Okay, so if you assaulted him a week or two before, why are you complaining about being flipped off?
It just angers me.
Are you seeing a psychiatrist?
No.
Do you think you should?
No, ma'am.
You should. He should be seeing a psychiatrist regularly. You understand that? You don't believe that? Step up with him, please. He should be in therapy. Intensive
I don't believe
therapy.
so, because once a person's been harassed off and on, a human being can only take so much.
Listen to
and
me.
He was at his breaking
Listen to me.
point.
Did you know that he spit in his face 2 weeks before?
No, I did not.
You see, somebody who's being harassed is usually frightened. So they stay away from the people who are harassing them or threatening them. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, but when they go to the same high school...
He is the aggressor. When he assaults him, he becomes the aggressor.
I understand.
And that has nothing to do with harassment. He told me that he spit at him 2 weeks before because he believes he's responsible for his friend's murder. Do you understand?
Yes, I do, but Tyler had also off and on since the incident has been harassing Alex.
Listen to me. I'm giving you a friendly word of advice from someone who has been in the juvenile justice system now for almost 30 years.
I know that.
If you don't get him involved in therapy, you're going to be visiting him every other Sunday, and you're going to have to go through a metal detector to do it. I want you to trust me on this. And if you don't, when you look back at your portfolio of photographs of this time in his life, 20 years from now, you're going to say, you know, wouldn't have hurt if I had him talk to somebody and get out all this anger.
Yes, ma'am.
Because his anger has to do with some event that happened a year ago that he hasn't been able to get over.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Sometimes life isn't fair, my dear. Sometimes the justice system is not as fair as you would like it to be if you're a criminal.
And later today...
What do you mean you're not officially living there? You're not a moron, are you? You wouldn't pay rent in an apartment where you weren't living, would you?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 17-year-old Tiffany Borilov says fellow schoolmate, 17-year-old Alex Kinsel, damaged her car when he jumped through the sunroof. Tiffany says Alex was attempting to assault her boyfriend.
Can I see pictures of the car, please? I see a lot of damage to this car, Alex.
Yes.
Damage to this car that would suggest to me that you were not able to leap over and get onto the sunroof as you indicated you did.
Your Honor, I did not damage the car of a witness that was right there and saw the whole thing.
I'm prepared to hear the witness. You may have a seat. Step up.
And she had also...
Shh. Tell me your name.
Vicki Nofel.
Miss Nofel, this happened at the school. What were you doing at the school?
I was picking up my daughter after school. My car was parked in front of the car that it involved in the
tell me
incident.
exactly what you saw.
He didn't actually climb on the car. He held onto where the door is and was in the sunroof. There was no hitting, kicking of the vehicle, and there had been damage to the car before.
How do you know that, my dear?
Well, my daughter goes to that school also.
Yes.
And Tiffany had stated to her that she had hit a deer, and it had damaged the side of her car.
These are footprints. Deer don't have feet. And I cannot imagine, madam.
I understand.
I cannot imagine the kind of assault that he pled guilty to occurred without his feet touching the car if he's in the sunroof. Could you imagine that? It just doesn't make sense. It defies credulity that he can assault somebody with his fists while poised on top of a car, unless this is a toy car. Is it a toy car?
No.
Without his feet hitting the car. You understand that?
I understand.
Good. Now you can sit down.
Excuse me, Judge Judy.
Yes.
We do have a police report, and there's no mention of any damages in the police report.
I'd like to see the police report. This only has to do with the damage to this young man.
Well, I assume that it should have been in there.
No, it does refer to another number that you didn't get. Can I see an estimate, please, on the car? What year car is this?
A 97.
97 what?
Toyota Avalon.
Did you have it fixed?
We don't have the money to fix it.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
In court on March 26, 2005, with the juvenile hearing for the attack, Mrs. Borloff was asked if she had any estimates for the damages, and she had said no, she did not, that she just had the car fixed, and she wanted to be reimbursed.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Now you can step up.
Nope. And she said she had it fixed by Peterson's Garage in Michigan City.
Is that right? I mean, that's easy for me to call.
She's lying, Judge.
No,
She
I
did
brought
state
that estimate with me.
She did not have that estimate that day in court.
Are you telling me now that you did not have the car fixed?
No, ma'am.
Then why would she state that she did?
You have a copy of those minutes?
I asked for them at our court.
Do you have a copy of the minutes?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Oh, okay.
They said they were not available, otherwise I would have had them.
Okay. Whether she had the car fixed or she has the estimate, your son's got to pay for the damage. Stop making excuses for him.
I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to state the facts.
First, you tell me that your son caused no damage, because that's what he told you.
Yes,
and you
ma'am.
brought a witness to tell me that Superman didn't cause any damage when he assaulted Tyler. Then you tell me that he shouldn't be responsible because she already had the car fixed, and all she wanted to do was be reimbursed. I'm telling you that you better start thinking about accepting total responsibility for his bad behavior.
But he told me there was no damages, so...
Well...
Your Honor.
What?
There were tons of people around the car. How I'm not on the side of the car or nothing, you know. I jump into the sunroof. I'm not kicking the car.
Listen to me, Alex.
Yes.
Sometimes life isn't fair, my dear, and sometimes the justice... Stand up on your own 2 feet and take your hands off the table. Sometimes the justice system is not as fair as you would like it to be if you're a criminal.
17-year-old Tiffany Borlov says fellow schoolmate, 17-year-old Alex Kinsel, damaged her car when he jumped through the sunroof. Tiffany says Alex was attempting to assault her boyfriend.
When you're a criminal and you commit certain acts of vandalism and you say, well, I did that, but I didn't do that. Courts are going to say, listen, I don't have time to figure this out. You jumped up on her car. Common sense suggests that when you jump up on a car and you assault somebody to the extent that you plead guilty to an assault, so it's a serious assault, and according to you, my adrenaline was flowing so that you're able to do things. That's what you told me. So I was able to do things. You never know what your strength is. I don't have to say to myself, well, maybe a deer caused one of these dents, and maybe you caused one of these dents. It's your fault. You're responsible. I can't find the deer. You're it. You got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,700. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
That person in there, fault that my friend died.
His friend was my best friend.
So I think he deserved everything he got.
He's like my brother.
I do not believe that he needs therapy.
I don't know. I don't think I'll never rest over it.
Maybe a little bit of counseling to help deal with his anger.
Seeing his picture in the obituaries.
I don't really know what to say to it. I'm just glad it's over.
I hope Alex does get the help he needs.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Weber versus Gonzalez-Evans. Step forward.
25-year-old Kendra Weber is suing her former roommates, 22-year-old Andrea Gonzalez and her boyfriend, Kyle Evans, for the return of her security deposit and renter's insurance.
Miss Gonzalez, how long were you and Miss Weber friends before you decided to room together?
About 3 years.
When did you sign this lease, Miss Weber?
On November 8th, 2004.
And how many people signed the lease?
Just us two, Andrea and I.
And what was your agreement?
We were to split all of the bills and rent 50-50 two ways.
And this must be Kyle.
That's correct.
Who is Kyle?
Kyle is my boyfriend.
Kyle didn't sign the lease.
No, he did not.
You moved out.
Yes, that's correct.
It is your claim that you moved out because things were made totally untenable with the apartment, and you wanted to move in with your boyfriend.
This is correct.
And you want some of your security deposit back and some renter's insurance.
That's correct.
Several $100s. And Miss Gonzalez and Mr. Evans say that you're not entitled to it. You moved out and you knew that you were going to forfeit any monies that you put into the apartment. Did you move in November of 2004?
Yes.
When did you move out?
April 30th.
And you had paid your rent up until that time?
Yes, I had.
And for my own information, when did Kyle move in?
It was just about a week or two after we moved in, so still in November of 2004.
And what was the rent on the apartment?
$12.75 for the first 6 months, and after that, $13.75.
And how much were you paying?
The first month I paid half, and then after he moved in, we split it 3 ways, $4.25 apiece.
And how much security deposit did you put in, Kyle?
I didn't put any in.
Why?
I wasn't on the lease.
Well, you were living there.
For the majority of the time, I was living there.
So why didn't you pay security deposit?
Because the security deposit was worked out between the defendant and plaintiff.
Are you still living there?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
How much security deposit did you put in now?
Nothing.
Nothing. Well, now you're going to put in her security deposit, Kyle. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. So you're going to give her $285, and then when you move out, if you keep the place nice and clean, you're going to get your $285 back. Doesn't that sound fair to you?
Yes.
Perfect. See how easy this is? Now let's deal with the renter's insurance. Did you pay the renter's insurance?
I paid half of it, yes.
You paid half. How much did you pay, Kyle?
None.
Why not, Kyle?
Because I wasn't officially living there. I was in
What do you
between.
mean you're not officially living there? You were living there, Kyle, because you were paying a third of the rent after 1 month of them signing the lease. You were officially living there. You're not a moron, are you? You wouldn't pay rent in an apartment where you weren't living, would you?
No, I was helping my girlfriend out.
Well, where else were you paying rent, Kyle?
Nowhere else, but I was also with my mom.
You weren't paying any rent to your mom?
No.
He was not living with his mom.
Just a second. Of course he wasn't living with his mom. he thinks because I'm older than he is, I'm stupid. You think all old people are stupid?
No.
Very good. So, you wouldn't pay rent for a place where you weren't living. What do you do for a living?
Loan setup. I work in the mortgage industry.
And how do you get to work every day?
I drive.
A what?
A car.
In whose name is the car?
That would be in my mom's and my name.
Is it in your mom's name because you're too young to have a car in your name?
No, it's just I needed a co-signer on the car.
Oh, but your mom doesn't drive in the car?
Not usually, no.
It's your car?
For the most part, yes.
And how far does your mom live away from you?
I'd say about 15 miles.
So how long does it take you to drive when you go visit her?
10 minutes.
So she doesn't come on the weekends to take your car, does she?
No, but I visit her on the weekends.
You do?
Yes.
And the rest of the time you live where?
I live most of the time over there. There are nights where I do go over there.
What a moron. All right, listen to me, Kyle. You're going to give Miss Weber $313. $285 of that represents her security deposit, which you have now taken over. Do you understand? When you're neat and clean and tidy and you and your girlfriend decide to move out, you'll get the $285 back. Doesn't that sound fair to you?
There was also damage done.
Speaking. Does that sound fair to you?
Yes.
Then you have renter's insurance. Now, renter's insurance covers any property that may be in the apartment. How much property does she have in the apartment?
At that time or right now?
Now!
None.
How much property do you have in the apartment?
A good amount, I believe.
Good. Then the renter's insurance is going to help you out. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $313. It's been delightful chatting with you. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step.
Mitchell Ergensen is suing pizza parlor owner Steve Lindner for the cost to fix his truck. Mitchell claims it was vandalized by Stephen's employees.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 219 on the calendar in the matter of Ergensen versus Lindner. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Ergensen, it is your claim that Mr. Lindner's employees vandalized your house and your car. And Mr. Lindner says he wasn't there. As far as he's concerned, there is no proof that his employees did anything to your house and your car. Who do you live with, sir?
Myself and my two daughters.
How old are your daughters?
17 and 19.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm an electrical contractor.
And you have a restaurant?
Yes.
Sometime in July, according to what I read, you ordered some food from Mr. Lindner's establishment. Have you ordered from him before?
Many a times.
What did you order?
Antipasta salad and a turkey sandwich.
And did they deliver it?
Yes.
Remember what date that was?
The 22nd is the date of this, yes.
No, the
22nd.
The first order.
Well, what happened
for a
was
sandwich and a salad.
We ordered a couple times and asked for extra Italian dressing prior to that.
Well, I understand that, sir. I read the complaint. I read your complaint very carefully. Sometime before this incident, you had ordered a sandwich and a salad.
Which was 2 weeks before.
That's what I want to know. 2 weeks before this incident. And you had ordered a sandwich and a salad with extra dressing for the salad. What kind of extra dressing did you want?
Italian dressing. A couple extra cups.
And had you ordered that before?
Yeah.
And had they always accommodated you before?
Yes.
Who was the salad and the sandwich for?
Me and my daughter. Actually, my oldest daughter.
Who was eating the salad? Who was eating the sandwich? Or were you sharing?
Sharing.
And your order came, and they didn't send the extra dressing.
They didn't send any dressing.
So you called back the restaurant. And what did you say to them?
I asked them, they didn't bring me any dressing. I talked to one of their guys in there. He said, we're very sorry. We'll be out in 10 minutes. And I said, please do, because I don't want to wait another 40 minutes for like I had to wait for my order. I want the salad dressing right away. No problem, sir. We'll be right out there. Waited about 40 minutes, almost an hour. Nobody showed up at my door. I called and I said, can I talk to the manager? And he says, I am the manager. I said, well, I've been waiting for my dressing now an hour. They didn't bring me any. Well, I didn't know. He said, I didn't know anything about it. We have no drivers anymore. They all went home. And I got angry with him. I said, well, I want a credit on my food then. And he said he wasn't going to give me full credit. And I said, I would like full credit for $12. I couldn't eat anything.
You couldn't eat the sandwich?
Not by that time, because we normally put the salad dressing on the sandwich, too. That's why we order extra for the salad and the sandwich. The girls like it. They like the extra vinegar and stuff. So we got mad. The manager hung up on me. I tried to call back. Nobody answered. Nobody answered. So I let it go. And about 2 weeks later, I ordered the same meal. And when the guy driver got there, I said, we have a credit, and I shut the door.
Very grown up of you.
Yeah.
You think that was right?
Come see, come saw.
What is come see, come saw?
Well, I had a credit.
Do you think,
I mean, the guy agreed he was going to pay me half the credit.
No. listen to me, sir.
Okay.
You didn't have a credit. You said you wanted a credit.
No, the manager also told me he was going to give me a credit on the salad, but not the sandwich.
That's right. That's what you just told me. He said, well, we will certainly, sir, give you a credit on the salad, because if you run the kind of house where you don't have any dressing at all in your house for 3 adults, if you can't eat the salad, we're sorry about that, but we're not going to give you a credit on the sandwich. You decided you wanted a credit on both. So when you took your food and slammed the door in the driver's face, which is what you just told me that you did, that was the wrong thing to do.
Okay.
There were a lot of other things that you could have done, other than stiff the driver. Because
Well, it wasn't the driver, it was the pizza.
No, it's the driver. Because they're giving them the food, and when they come back and he says, listen, we went to somebody's house and they wouldn't give us any money, either one of 2 things happen. Either they say, well, we're taking it out of your money, or they call you. Did they call you?
No.
So you don't know whether the driver got stiffed with your $12 meal. Anyway, Mr. Ergenson, it was very immature of you. And what I'm surprised about is, evidently you are a single father raising 2 children. It would seem to me that you would have enough to occupy your plate other than engaging yourself in these petty little situations that cause nothing but problems for people. Are you telling me that your girls are so perfect that you have nothing else to worry about? Or maybe they're not so perfect that you got plenty to worry about, that you were taking it out on some stranger.
No, my girls are plenty perfect. They're very good
plenty
girls.
perfect. Well, then there's something wrong with you.
Okay.
All right. Now,
for a single father that runs a business for 20 years and raises 2 girls since they've been 2 and 4, I think I'm pretty good.
well, then I want to tell you something. If your girls are perfect and you run a nice business and you don't have enough to do with your time, I'd start volunteering a little bit more, because this business is ridiculous, petty baloney. So now what you're complaining about is that the next day...
No.
2 days later?
No.
That night?
That night, I had 4 guys come to my house and try to strong-arm me for $12 at my door and threaten to ask me to come outside so we can take care of outside.
Okay.
And I shut the door in their face.
So this little escapade of yours, then 4 people came back to your house
To threaten me
and
in
wanted the
this
12, just a second, and said they wanted the $12.
Yeah.
And again, you slammed the door in their
No,
face.
I told them I have a credit. I said, where's the manager? The guy, this one over here, says, I am the manager. And I said, you're the manager from the place? Well, great. Do you remember this? He says, no. And the other guy that's not here today says, oh, you were the one that complained about the salad dressing. I said, so you know about it. You know what happened 2 weeks ago. He said, yes. And I said, okay, then you have a credit with me. If you have a problem, tell the owner to call me. We'll deal with it in court. If you want to sue me for 12, sue me for 12. So that's how it happened.
Volunteer.
They threatened me in my house.
Volunteer. It was a stupid thing to do. Should have written it off. You understand?
Yes.
You're dealing with somebody who's got a little too much time on his hands and a little bit too much aggression in his gut.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She was up a whole night and frightened because her father acted like a jerk. That's why she was up all night, because her father acted like a big baby.
And later today,
You're not supposed to fib anytime, especially not when you're in court, because that's a fib. If your mother doesn't know it's a fib, I know it's a fib.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Mitchell Ergenson says pizza parlor owner Stephen Lindner owes for vandalism to his truck. Mitchell claims Stephen's employees doused it with salad dressing.
First of all, Mr. Ergenson, when you order a salad with dressing and a sandwich, the sandwich doesn't come with Italian dressing. So what you're doing is saying, when I asked you, well, why couldn't you eat the sandwich? You say, we'd like to put the dressing on the sandwich. You're not entitled to that. You're not entitled to that.
But
the sandwich comes alone.
Yeah.
The dressing comes with a salad. You want dressing for your sandwich, go to the store and buy a bottle of dressing so you have dressing for the sandwich.
But it's not the same dressing. Their salad dressing has their own taste and their own life. It's like when you go into different restaurants. When you go into different restaurants, do you like different salad dressings that different restaurants serve you?
Mr. Ergenson, listen to me very carefully, sir.
Okay.
Then you don't say, send me extra dressing for the sandwich that I'm not entitled to. You say, I'm prepared to pay you extra to send me extra dressing because I like dressing on my sandwich.
If they said it cost extra, I would have been happy to pay for it.
Did you? Just a second.
Happy to pay for it.
You were getting something for nothing. You wanted something for nothing. You're not entitled to that.
No, I did not.
Mr. Ergenson, you're a big baby.
Okay.
That doesn't mean you're a big baby.
Thank you.
That doesn't mean your people were entitled to vandalize his house. Now, Mr. Erkinson, I will take a look at the photographs of your house.
And my car.
And your car.
And I have the cups that they used.
I don't care about the cups
All
that
right,
they
and
used.
I have a new cup, too. It shows in the pictures. And I also have repairs that you might want to see.
Let me see the bills. Mr. Lindner, the way to respond to someone who is behaving in an immature way is not to stoop to their level. There isn't a question in my mind, after examining these photographs, that this vandalism to the plaintiff's house was done by someone in your employ or in the employ of the restaurant. No question. You get me?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah. Now, I don't know whether you went home. I don't know whether they said, listen, he deserves it. What he did was he was acting like a baby, acting like a big baby. But you don't take the law into your own hands and commit a crime.
Absolutely not.
You want to file a police report and say he stole food from me? That's your prerogative. He did. It would be no different from him coming into a restaurant, having a meal, and getting up and leaving. And saying, well, the last time I was here, I didn't have a good meal, and I wanted a credit, and they wouldn't give me a credit. So this time, I'm enjoying my meal, but I'm not paying for it. No different. What he did was, he stole from you. No, and for that, oh, yes, you did, sir. There is no difference from what you did than if you walked into their restaurant or walked into a... I'm speaking. No difference than if you went into a restaurant, ate, didn't like the meal, they wouldn't give you a credit. And a week later, go back to the same restaurant, order the same meal, and get up and leave. And if the police came, they would have arrested you for theft of services, because that's what it is. They still had no right to vandalize your house. Do you understand?
Yes.
You don't resort to that sort of behavior because he acted like a jerk.
And came to my house and threatened me in my house.
No, ma'am.
And my daughter will attest to all that, too.
Listen, I don't want to get your daughter involved. It's bad enough she had to be involved. It's bad enough she had to be involved with it because of your stupidity.
From these guys doing this.
No, listen to me.
She was.
Listen to me. She was up a whole night and frightened because her father acted like a jerk.
Okay.
That's why she was up all night, because her father acted like a big baby. Cost you $229.23. Is that right?
And lost wages in my work.
Well, that's too bad. Count the lost wages in acting like a jerk. They're not allowed to vandalize your property. Cost you $229. I hope it felt good. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Just 1 second. $229.23 less 12. $217.23. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Apparently, I didn't bring him his dressings, which I did offer to bring back, which he did not want.
I just wanted my order the way it should have. When they didn't bring me any, I was a little upset.
He yelled at me for a good 6 minutes or so in the middle of the street.
About principle.
I just think it's about respect between customer and business.
He was enraged, and he slammed the door in my face, and that was it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of White versus York. Step forward, please.
Lisa White is suing business owner Susan York for the cost to repair her vehicle. Lisa claims Susan's son, 8-year-old Dylan, hit it with a rock.
Miss White, it is your complaint that Miss York's little boy, I assume this little boy, was throwing rocks in the street, and one of the rocks hit your car, causing some damage.
That's correct.
And you want his mother to pay for the damage. Miss York says, she doesn't think her son was responsible for that. He was merely rolling rocks, although she wasn't there. She says that it was really your conduct that was outrageous on that day. So tell me when this happened.
It was approximately 7 to 7:15 in the morning on May 12th. I was on my way to work. I was traveling down East Yacht Drive.
Where is that?
It's in Oak Island, North Carolina. As I approached the intersection where the children were, they were in the street.
How many children were in the street?
Approximately 5, 2 boys and 2 or 3 girls.
I assume they were waiting for the school bus?
That's correct.
Okay.
As I approached, I noticed that they were playing in the street, so I slowed down. They moved to the shoulder of the intersection. One little boy was throwing stones into the other empty lot across the street, and as I approached, Dylan threw a rock at my car, and I heard it hit.
You saw him do that?
Yes, ma'am.
So you stopped your car, and what did you do?
I got out, And I'm like, you, come here, what's your name? And I said, look at what you've done to my car. I said, where do you live? He said, down the street. I said, you get in my car, and I'm taking you to your mother to show her what you're doing at the bus stop. Well, he had extra stones in his other hand, and he threw those down. I said, no, you pick those up, you put them in my car, and we're going now. So he got into the car, and I took him straight to his mother's house. I told him to go upstairs and take the stones with him to show whoever was there. I didn't know which parent was home. I said, take those and show them what you've been throwing at my car, and send them downstairs to talk to me. And she came down to talk with me.
And what did she say?
Well, she asked him, did he do it? And why did you do that? I told you not to throw stones. I told her.
What did he say?
He's like, well, it was an accident. I'm like, no, it was not. I saw him do it.
He said to his mother it was an accident.
That's correct.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Stand up next to your mother. Dylan, how could it be an accident if you were throwing the stones?
I was rolling them across the road, and she was going like 70.
Dylan, I don't want your nose to get long. I want you to tell me how it's an accident that stones that you were rolling on the ground hit somebody's car.
I rolled it, it bounced up on another
You rolled it and it bounced up? A rock?
It hit another rock and it bounced.
That's a fib, Dylan. You're not supposed to fib anytime, especially not when you're in court, because that's a fib. If your mother doesn't know it's a fib, I know it's a fib. You and your friends were throwing rocks, right?
Yes.
And one of the rocks hit her car.
Yes.
See how easy that was?
Yes.
What your complaint is, Miss York, and one that I quite frankly find compelling, is that Miss White exercised very poor judgment in putting your son in her car.
This is correct.
Because I don't think North Carolina is any different from any other place in this country. You don't take somebody else's child and put them in your car. That's very poor judgment, Miss White. I don't think there would have been anything wrong in you saying, if you live right down the street, you go right home, I'm going to follow you, so that you would know where he lived. But you don't take anybody else's child and put them in your car. Now, can I see a picture of the damage to your car?
I do have a photo, but you cannot see the actual dents or chips in the car, in the paint.
Well, it should just be one.
No, there's actually several. I have a police report stating that the officer noted 6 chips areas.
Well, he didn't chip it 6 times. He threw one rock. That's according to you.
He had several stones in his other hand. I don't know how many stones actually hit.
I don't know how many children were involved in throwing stones, but you said to me, I saw him throw a stone. I heard it hit my car. There's a difference in hearing 1 or hearing 6.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Mm-hmm.
When she drove to my house, I saw one little dot, and then in return, it ended up being dents. I never saw a dent. She even herself said it probably won't be much.
Well, what she's suing you for is $300.
Yes, ma'am.
Which isn't much. I think what your complaint is, quite frankly, despite the fact that I read your answer, and your answer gave me the same malarkey that he was rolling stones. Children don't roll stones. They throw stones at cars. And that's what he did, because that's what he just told me he did.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
So you're responsible, because if you want to make sure that your son doesn't do that, and I assume he's done it before, right?
Not that I'm aware of, no, ma'am.
Never heard of him throwing rocks before?
Not at cars.
At anything?
I mean, he's a little boy. I guess he does throw rocks, yes.
Okay, well, if he's a little boy and he throws rocks, then you should be out there with him waiting for the school bus.
Your Honor, I would like to say, when he came home from school, I had asked him what happened. And he admitted that he had been rolling rocks.
Rolling rocks doesn't...
Rolling rocks, throwing rocks, and one hit her car. And then he proceeded to show me how she forcefully put him in her car. I have a written statement for...
I don't take statements
from
people. She had no right to put him in the car, take him in the car, ask him to get into the car, pick him up. Absolutely no right to do that. He wasn't injured. He went off to school that day. Did you go off to school that day?
Yes.
Did you have a good day in school that day?
Yes.
So he wasn't injured, emotionally or physically. But she did the wrong thing, and I've told her she did the wrong thing. So I read her the Riot Act. You still have to pay to have a car fixed.
That's fine.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $300. That's all.
Thank you.
Step out. Step forward, please.
Jacqueline Hayes says she never got paid for babysitting Michelle Normandine's daughter. They used to be friends.
Order, all rise. Yeah, it's number 82 on the calendar in the matter of Hayes versus Normandin. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Hayes, you claim the defendant owes you $430 for babysitting that you did for her daughter.
Correct.
How did you find her as a babysitter?
Well, we were very good friends at the time.
And?
And we were very good friends, and she moved into the front house, my boyfriend's rental house, and her rent was raised up.
So she was your boyfriend's tenant?
Right. And her rent was up a little bit from where she was living, and it made it more difficult for her to be able to pay the daycare that she was paying, which she told me was $80 a week. And she asked me one day if I would do it for $50 a week. And I agreed. I agreed.
I'm going to give you an opportunity to have your turn. Go ahead.
I agreed because I'm a single mother. I was not working. I needed the money, and I wanted to try and help her out because we were friends, and I thought it was helping each other out.
So you started to babysit?
Uh-huh.
How long did you babysit?
I'd say approximately about 10 weeks. I did not...
Approximately?
It was a 10-week period. I don't know I know it was from May to July, but I didn't pay attention because it was through friends. It was just a verbal agreement. I didn't document the exact dates, but I was counting the weeks as they went on.
Did you babysit every day?
I believe it's 3 to 4 days a week.
According to your complaint, months went by or weeks went by and there was no payment.
And then I started asking for a payment, and she told me that she hadn't received the check from her husband's company yet for her child support. And so I said, okay, well, I'll continue. And then as time went on, she started bringing things home that she was buying and such and showing them to me. And I would ask her for $20 one day because I didn't have any money to feed my child that night, and she didn't have any money to give me. So I said, well, you know, I'm going to have to discontinue the daycare because I need some money too, and I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. So then I discontinued the daycare. We stopped speaking for a while.
Is that why you stopped speaking?
Basically. We stopped speaking for a while, and then one day I came home and found $70 cash in an envelope, unmarked envelope, on my door. I assumed it came from her. So...
Did it?
Yes, it did. So after a while, I thought, you know, the pressure, the tension was just too much. Living next to each other, we were friends. I wanted us to remain friends. And so I asked again if she could give me any more money towards outstanding balance, and I sent her a collection letter at that time. And she didn't respond because I sent it certified and there was no pickup. So we stopped speaking once again, and I sent her this collection letter, in which I have, if you'd like to read it. And this one states basically the whole story. And it's very nice, it's very professional, and I just wanted her to know that I was serious, that I would go file a claim if she didn't make some type of compensation.
Well, but I need more specific dates from you than you've given me about May.
I just know from May to July.
Well, the beginning of May, the middle of May.
So, yeah, I would say the middle of May through July.
Now it's your turn.
I have receipts from the daycares that she was going to. Jackie offered to watch her. She volunteered to watch her a couple days a week to help me out because I was not receiving child support yet from my soon-to-be ex-husband.
Okay.
There was no set rate. There was no set days. There was no set weeks. She would always offer to cook, and she loved to barbecue. She'd have people over whenever at her boyfriend's house. I have, you know, there was no 10 weeks. There was maybe the most two and a half weeks at the most.
I disagree
with that. And she was
fully.
paid $70.
Well, let me see. You say you have receipts from daycare during the periods of part of May, June, and July.
Right. My grandma has always watched my daughter from day one.
I mean, are you saying that this was not a daycare, this was your grandmother?
My grandmother watched, no, she started off watching her when I first got a job.
I'm talking about during that period of time.
Yes,
during this period of time, May, June, and July.
Yes, I have receipts.
From whom?
From the daycare my daughter goes to.
From a professional daycare person or daycare provider. Can I see them, please? How many days a week were you working at that time?
5 days a week.
And how many days a week was your daughter going to daycare, this professional daycare?
The professional one, 3 days a week, and my grandmother would watch her 2 days.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about Grandma. Well, you have something here that seems to be a full balance with tuition and how many payments you made starting August 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that from?
That's from the school she goes to right now, Sherry's Preschool.
And this is August of '96 that you're referring to.
No, see, the week that I discontinued the daycare, she started going to
someplace
Sherry's.
else. Well, that's what this seems to say, August of '96. But I have to have some more specifics from you, Miss Hayes. And that is, how many days a week?
I want to say it was 3 days, sometimes 4. Her grandmother did take her, I believe it was on Tuesdays.
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
I had her at least 3 days a week, sometimes 4.
For full days?
For full days. I was at her house at 7 in the morning, and she would pick her up between 5 and 5:30 in the evening.
So you went to pick her up?
I would pick her up, yes.
She volunteered to do this so that way also her son has someone to play with.
No, I don't believe that that's true, Miss Normandin.
No, I never said it was for free.
Right. I don't believe that that's true. I don't believe that you watch another child.
It wasn't for free.
Listen to me. I don't believe that you watch another child for 10 hours. How old is your daughter?
She's 3.
You don't watch a 3-year-old for 10 hours without being compensated, even for a friend.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
She gave a phone number also.
So, what do you expect me to do? You want me to get off the bench and go call her?
Jacqueline Hayes says she never got paid for babysitting Michelle Normandine's daughter. They used to be friends.
You have shown me a receipt that you started the daycare, formal daycare, in August, which pretty much coincides with what the plaintiff says. Therefore, I believe that you did have an arrangement, and your arrangement was to pay her $50, which I think was more than generous, on a 10-hour day watching a child, a 3-year-old toddler. You paid her $70. Certainly, in June and July alone, we have 4 1/3 weeks. That's almost 10 weeks right there. Part of May, you said, the middle of May, even giving her the benefit of the doubt that you started the end of May. That is your 10 weeks.
But here she was at Brenda's daycare, family daycare in Torrance until June 14th.
Listen to me. I don't believe that for 2 reasons. First of all, it's on a plain piece of paper, and I don't know who wrote it. Somebody who runs a business, a daycare center, a formal daycare center, has a letterhead. They have a letterhead that says this is what they are. They're licensed, right? This is on a plain piece of paper. I could have typed that in my den last night.
She gave a phone number also.
So, what do you expect me to do? Bring a witness. You want me to get off the bench and go call her? If I went and called her, would she tell me that in the entire month of June, your daughter was there 5 days a week? Is that what she would tell me?
She didn't say the whole entire month of June.
Just a second. Maybe that's a good idea. If I went and called this lady, whose telephone number appears here, would she tell me that in the month of June, your daughter was there 5 days a week?
Not 5 days a week. No, my grandmother watched her the remaining other 2 days.
I don't believe that.
Oh.
Your grandmother lives clearly in this area. If you had a witness, you bring a witness.
She has hip problems. That's why she continues to not watching her no more. That's why she goes to daycare full time.
Hip problem doesn't prevent you from coming to court. Hip problem may prevent you from running after a 3-year-old toddler, but doesn't prevent you from coming to court. It's just convenient. All right. She owes you $500. She paid you $70. $430. Did I get that right, Bird?
You got it right.
$430?
I was very quick.
$430.
Judgment is for the plaintiff for $430.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was very hard living next door to each other. Our kids wanted to play together. They weren't able to because we weren't speaking. It was very, very difficult. I enjoyed her daughter. She's a wonderful girl. And I really enjoyed the time. But I needed to be paid as well as I was trying to save her money. Friends need to really take a look at each other and just show more respect for the ones that really care.
And now, the next case.
Parties on. Costanza versus Altshuler. Step forward.
Claire Costanza moved in with roommate Darlena Altshuler, and their friendship blew up in a month.
You two gals were former roommates, shared an apartment together. According to your complaint, your former roommate owes you for half a month's rent and half the security on an apartment that you shared together.
Yes.
You say that you gave her a check for your half of the month's rent. So far, is that correct?
Right.
And that she was supposed to pay the entire month's rent. You wrote a check for the entire month's rent. You gave it to the landlord, correct?
Correct.
And then you had a fight and you stopped payment on the check.
Well, it wasn't like a fight. It was when I decided to give her notice that I would be moving out at the end of the month.
But you stopped payment on the check.
After her threats and...
I'll get to that in a second. I'll get to the fluff of this story in a minute. But bottom line, you stopped payment on the check and you kept the money, right?
Right.
Which included the half that she had given you.
Right.
Well, why'd you do that for?
Because I took my part of the security deposit and paid the rest of the bills that she mailed back to my parents' house.
Well, but you can't do that. She gave you the money to pay the rent.
And I had full intentions of paying the rent until she just completely blew up and threatened me, saying that I couldn't step foot anywhere near there. And so that's when I decided to stop.
Let's go back. How long did you live together?
A month.
All right, what happened? What was your argument about? When did it take place?
Well, I'm not sure what the threats are, but we had a dispute when she told me she was moving out. I guess I was upset that she was moving out, and I said, well, you know, you have to pay the rent. She said she would, and she did for about 2 weeks. And then,
how did she pay the rent for 2 weeks?
Well, she paid the rent and then stopped payment. I found out at the end of the month.
The end of the second month?
Yes, July. My landlady had informed me that the payment was stopped on the check and that I needed to repay the rent or someone was responsible. And I told her to return the keys, and she would not. I said, you don't live there. I think that you need to give them back. She took about a month.
Was she living in the apartment at the time?
No.
So this was after that all happened?
It was like the same day that she had moved all her stuff out. I called and said, you need to return the keys.
I see. And what day of the month was that?
July 2nd.
And this was the rent for the month of July?
Yes.
When she wasn't going to be there, but you had already given her your half of the rent for that month?
Yes. On June 30th, I believe it was.
Okay, and how much was the security deposit that you put into the apartment?
It was $500 total, $250 each.
And how much was your part of the rent?
$307.50.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Two people who don't love each other should never room together.
Right.
But that's always a terrible beginning to a live-in situation. That's what keeps me in business.
Claire Costanza moved in with roommate Darlena Altshuler, and their friendship blew up in a month.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening to you.
I had full intentions of paying the month's rent. I told her on July 1st that I'd be moving out at the end of the month. She freaked out, so I moved all my stuff out that day with still full intentions of paying the month's rent. And then she started to, you know, that's when she asked for the keys. I mailed the keys. They came back to me. Then I mailed them again certified so that she would receive them. She, she just said that I couldn't step foot near there. Why would I pay a month's rent if I wasn't allowed to, you know, go anywhere near there?
I'm not even talking about your part of the month's rent. Let's not even talk about that. Let's talk about the money she gave you to pay for July. You kept that.
For my part of the security deposit.
But maybe you weren't going to get back the security deposit if you were breaking your lease without any notice.
It was a month-to-month.
But you're supposed to give notice even on a month-to-month.
That was my mistake. I didn't give notice to the landlord. I gave notice to her, and I know that. That was my mistake.
But you're supposed to give notice, because if you don't give notice, then everybody loses the security deposit. What happened with the security deposit?
It was forfeited for July's rent, and there's still $115 outstanding. I have the lease here that she signed.
Can I take a look at it?
And it says on a month-to-month tenancy there, it's highlighted.
Thank you. You signed the lease. The lease says you're supposed to give the landlord 30 days notice. You didn't give the landlord 30 days notice because you said you moved out on the 2nd of July.
Right.
Well, even if you gave the landlord 30 days notice, that wouldn't be until the 2nd of August. Right?
Right.
So whether you gave her notice or whether you gave the landlord notice, you're still responsible for that rent. You are responsible for the rent for that month. Did you move into another apartment?
No, I moved back into my parents' house.
Got to read everything really carefully. How old are you?
19.
Okay. So it's a good lesson. You understand that?
Yes, but her side also, when you have someone that's threatening you bodily harm and spitting on you and stuff, and you want to get your money back, you understand that she tried to do it right. She paid the rent even though she was moving out. Granted, because she didn't do it to the landlord, it's wrong.
Stand up here.
Just because she didn't do it to the landlord, we agree that's wrong, but when someone threatens bodily harm and tries to spit on
I
it...
am pregnant.
You were.
And you were not there.
We have every message, word by word, written down.
Are you Miss Alchala?
O'Brien.
Oh, Miss O'Brien. Two people who don't love each other should never room together.
Right.
Right? I don't know how long these young ladies knew each other before they decided to move in together. I don't know what the circumstances were. But that's always a terrible beginning to a live-in situation. That's what keeps me in business, these roommate situations.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Claire Costanza moved in with roommate Darlena Altschuler, and their friendship blew up in a month.
The plaintiff did, in fact, give her half of the rent, $307.50. The deposit, the security deposit, was forfeited because they didn't give 30 days notice to the landlord. When did you finally leave the apartment?
My last day would have been August 9th. I went through the walkthrough with her, with my landlady. I moved out, I think, on the 5th. I had another place I was moving into.
So it's because she used it for rent, as opposed to Darlena knew once she threatened her that she's never going to give her a deposit back. So what we should have done...
Who are you?
I'm her friend, and I've been there a lot more than she has. Darlena's mom was not there while any of this was going on, supposedly threatening. And I think Darlena's old enough to take care of herself. And I think, she's pregnant. Okay, if there's any threat, it's verbal, and you can deal with verbal since you've done the same thing back. And I'm sorry, but you weren't there. I was there. I was there.
Oh, so you listened to the messages?
No, I was there. I've heard the message that she left to Claire.
That's funny, because I was there when she
left.
Listen to me. An adult. She can do it herself.
Your daughter made a poor choice of roommates.
Right.
She didn't get hurt. She safely moved back into the house. You cross it off to a bad experience and you learn from it. That's what you teach children as they're growing up. If you make a bad move, you try to learn from it and not recreate those mistakes as you get older. So the next time she will look further into the background of a roommate. And I'm not saying there was anything wrong with you. I'm just saying if that's the case, you look further before you jump into a situation where you expose yourself to living with somebody that you really don't know. She should learn from this experience. And the experience is going to cost her, I'm so bad in math, $557.50. Judgment is for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties are excused, you may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Parties on Opp versus Gallagher. Step forward, please.
29-year-old Julie Opp and her boyfriend, John Gallagher, a private investigator, drove to Mexico so Julie could live out a private fantasy, to dance in a strip club. But when the time came, John got jealous and a fight erupted at the border.
Order, all rise. Quiet, please, all rise. Judges, number 7 on the calendar in the matter of Opp versus Gallagher. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Well, this is some story, depending upon the version. Bottom line, Miss Opp, you are suing the defendant, Mr. Gallagher, because you say he assaulted you on a recent trip to Mexico.
Yes.
Why you were there is somewhat in dispute. We'll get to that in a minute. He says that you assaulted him first. Something that you don't really deny in your papers.
Yes, I did.
All right, so let's start at the beginning. Were you his girlfriend?
We were girlfriend and boyfriend.
For how long? Before you took this trip, this fateful trip?
Probably a year and a half.
What were you doing in Mexico?
We originally went down there to get him some steroids and some medicine that takes you off of steroids.
No, that's not true, Your Honor.
Well, I'll get to you in a second. All right, so tell me when you left. You left for Mexico on what day of the week?
We left on the 17th. I don't remember what day of the week that was.
Oh, was it on a weekend?
I don't even remember.
Were you planning on spending a few days there?
No, we just went there for the day to pick up his steroids.
So you left in the morning?
Yeah.
What time did you get there?
I think it was around 10.
In the
11.
morning?
Yeah.
So what did you do? Tell me about the day.
We got there and we went to the pharmacy to look for his stuff, and he wanted to find a doctor where he could get his steroids, and that took an hour or two, and then we went, had some tacos, drank a few beers, and basically that took a couple more hours. Then we went to a strip bar. We had previously talked about me dancing, and I said no, I'm not comfortable with it.
Well, tell me if that's what I don't. That's what I find so interesting about this case. You went to a few strip bars and you talked about you dancing.
Well, before we went to the strip bar, we talked about it.
What was the conversation?
He wanted to see me dancing.
No.
Oh. Go ahead.
He wanted to see me dance because it was kind of like a fantasy thing between us. He just wanted to see it. I wasn't a dancer. He'd never seen me on a stage, and I told him if I did do it, I would need to drink a lot in order to get up there. And so we went to the strip bar. I drank a lot, and
you got pretty drunk?
I don't really get drunk because I get sick really easy, but I got tipsy. Definitely, I had to relax in order to do it.
Okay.
And so I drank. He said, "Come on, keep doing it, you know, go do it." And finally, I did it. I went up there and I danced. And when I got down
at the strip bar.
Yes. And
Bambi's.
Do you have to? I mean, can anybody just go there and do this? Do you have to ask a manager?
Anybody can do it. There was other American girls there doing it too. And there was a bunch of Marines. It wasn't.
Okay. Feels foolish now, doesn't it?
I've never done it before.
Oh, okay.
And it was supposed to be something private between him and I, and it didn't end up that way.
So what happened? You danced?
I danced. I was done. We went to another bar, and he's like, do it here, and we're sitting there, and there was a girl dancing in front of us, and he says, give me $1, I want to tip her. I said, I'm not going to give you $1 to tip her. Use your own money. And we got into an argument from that point on. So we walked out of the strip bar, and we're arguing on the street, and he called me a whore, and I said, how could you call me a whore? You're the one who talked me into doing this. And he goes, I'm sorry. He goes, I shouldn't have said that. Hit me. And I go, no. And he goes, hit me, you're a whore. And he just kept saying it. Finally, I hit him. I mean, we were arguing. It wasn't just a calm thing.
So you hit him?
So I hit him.
Where'd you hit him?
I'm sorry?
Where did you hit him?
In the face.
One time or more than one time?
One time, and then he called me a whore and told me, hit me again. So I hit him one more time. And then we grabbed a taxi.
3 times.
And then we grabbed a taxi, and we were driving back because we were going to get in trouble at that point. And he started calling me a whore again. So instead of hitting him, I grabbed my clog off my foot and hit him over the head. So I wouldn't hit him in the face. But tempers were not good, and he kept calling me a whore. And
he was pretty drunk too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So
you get to the border.
We get to the border, and things have calmed down. We're back on this side. It's kind of over. I said I had to go to the bathroom before we go back, and in the parking lot where you park, there's a public restroom, and we went in there, and he starts arguing, and he's talking about it, and I said, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't want to argue. It's over. Let's just go home. It's been a bad day. And I tried to get out of the bathroom because I was done, and he wouldn't let me out of the bathroom. He kept arguing with me. And so I went to open the door, unlock the door and get out. So it was hot and stinky. It's gross in there. And he wouldn't let me out. Finally, he grabbed me and he pulled me away from the door and shoved me against the wall. And then that's when the back of my head hit the wall and I passed out. And he was yelling at me, "Stop it, you're faking it, you're faking it." And I was looking at him saying, "I'm not faking it, I'm passing out right now." And I was slumping down to the ground. And when I came to, because I kind of went out, when I came to, I noticed my hearing was gone. And then I became hysterical because I didn't know what was wrong. I'd never even heard of a ruptured eardrum. I didn't know what it was. I thought I had gone deaf for some reason. And I started screaming to him. We walked back to the car. He finally let me out, and we started to drive away. I said, "Take me to a hospital. This isn't normal. There's something wrong with me. Take me to a hospital." And he said, "No, I'm not. You're fine. You're faking it." And so I grabbed my cellular phone because he wasn't going to take me to the hospital to dial 911, and he grabbed the phone and wouldn't let me call. And so because he wouldn't go to the hospital, I opened the door and pretended I was going to jump out. In order to let him know that I was serious, I needed to go to the hospital.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She would remain anonymous. No one would find out about this, and she could let her inhibitions go.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Julia is suing ex-boyfriend John Gallagher, claiming he punctured her eardrum during a fight over her amateur stripping debut.
So you have medical bills that you want him to pay for?
Yes.
What were your medical bills?
One's the doctor's bill, which is $228.64. One is the lab bill, which is $267.24. And then there's the emergency hospital bill, which is $1,306.
Okay, Mr. Gallagher. You had enough water, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Let's hear your story. You went to Mexico.
I'll tell you the real version of the story. Actually, it started about a week before the date we went down. I can't recall the date, but the week prior, she had gone down to Mexico with a girlfriend named Melissa, done the same thing. She had been flirting with the idea of possibly trying, dancing at nightclubs. And, can't blame her. She's, pretty attractive and can make a lot of money at it. So they had gone down and came back and told me the story how she had gotten up on stage. And I don't think she actually meant to, but she ended up getting up on stage and she made a bunch of money. And she was kind of excited. And it probably was a fantasy thing also, but we decided to go down on that Saturday.
How much is a bunch of money? I'm just curious.
She had a lot of crinkle $1 bills, but I'm sure more than 100 of them.
$80. $80. It's not a lot of money.
She's probably on there for like 5 minutes and made $80.
This was before you made $80 when you went down there with the girlfriend.
With my girlfriend, I told him about it, and he said, "I want to do that." And we talked about it.
So you went down a week before with
no, I said that I wasn't really comfortable with it.
But you went down a week before you made $80.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So she wanted me to go down with her.
I'm going to charge you for the water.
Can I get something better? So, I'm a little nervous. She wanted me to go with her, partly as protection. Melissa couldn't go, and also a fantasy thing. But we didn't go down in the morning, and we did not go down to buy steroids. It's a lie. We didn't go down to buy steroids. We actually went down. It was dark out when we were driving.
Ask him to take his jacket off.
Yeah. We went.
What?
While we were there, well, we did go down, but it wasn't in the morning. It was dark out. It was probably like 7 or 8 o'clock when we started driving down. She drove her car, and we did stop at the border, and we parked in that parking lot and took the red bus. It's just this red bus you take in. It's like a mile. It costs $1. And I did buy some pharmaceuticals there. They were not steroids. I didn't go down to buy steroids. Then we started drinking, and actually went to a taco bar across the street from the strip bars, and we had some beers, and we went to, I think, 2 other bars and drank a lot of tequila. We did get pretty drunk. And she got her courage up, and she really wasn't sure if she was going to do this, and maybe I did, provoke her a little bit to do it. We went to the first bar. I think it was Bambi's. And arrangements were made for her to go on stage, and she went on the backstage.
Let me stop you. How were arrangements made? Look. How were arrangements made for her to go on the stage?
I was kind of like her agent.
Well, Mr. Gallagher, That's a conclusion, sir. Tell me exactly what you did to
Went up
make
to,
these arrangements.
Grabbed one of the guys, like the Mexican guys that worked there that spoke English, and said she wants to dance. And then at first they look at her and like, yeah, but they try to play hardball. No, you know, we can't have her up. And we negotiate back and forth.
What do you negotiate about?
Just to get her on, you know.
What negotiating usually involves money.
Yeah, well, she's going to make money.
So let me hear.
He wanted free
Oh,
drinks.
free beers for me.
Just a second. So you negotiated with one of the proprietors, or...
I drank free, she got to dance. That was the negotiation. Oh, she got to drink free too, that was a given. And so we negotiated she was going to go on the backstage. I think she wanted to get on the front stage where she would make more money and have more exposure. This little room in the back with a small backstage. She gets up there and takes her clothes off, and hell breaks loose. I mean, they can't believe what they're seeing. She's very beautiful. I mean, the whole bar moves to the back where it's getting crowded while she's dancing and going off. And I mean, bottles start flying, and people are like getting so close to each other. And I mean, it was like a madhouse. And she starts, you know, dancing. And I got, you know, kind of jealous of her, you know, to see her doing that.
So you got angry?
I got angry and I got jealous. It was painful. No, I didn't get angry. I tried to keep in perspective. Tried to. And,
but you had a lot of booze.
We were getting drunk. We were drinking.
Well, she wasn't drinking when she was up there dancing, but you were continuing to drink when she was
drinking when she got down, though.
But you were drinking while she was dancing.
Yeah, but not as much as her.
She came down and you got angry. Tell me what happened.
No, I didn't get angry. When she came down, we decided to go to another bar where she could do the same thing because it was kind of wearing thin there and it got kind of violent. They were going crazy when they saw her. So we went to a bar next door.
Were you fond of this lady?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not registered. Maybe it's my puritanical upbringing. You know? That's not funny. That's not meant to be funny, sir. I just don't understand a man who would encourage. In fact, that I think she's nuts for wanting to do it in the first place.
Well,
but a man who would encourage someone who he's fond of, negotiate, act as her agent.
Well, I'll make sure she's okay, you know, and nothing would take place. I wasn't going to let anyone hurt her.
That's not what I'm talking about, sir. Usually there's a certain proprietary interest that men have in their women and women have in men that they like. I don't quite understand you.
It was in the secrecy of Mexico where she would remain...
Order.
She would remain anonymous. No one would find out about this, and she could let her inhibitions go. And
his inhibition.
No,
all right. Yours
she
too.
drugged me down there.
You went there before without him?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
That sounds pretty reasonable to me. Both acted like idiots.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. John Gallagher admits he became jealous when his girlfriend Julia danced in a strip club, but he says he didn't mean to cause the injury to her eardrum.
I want you to tell me, she assaulted you because you called her a whore. Is that right?
In the second bar, I made the horrible mistake of calling her a whore. I did.
Okay. And tell me about the assault that took place on you.
Well, first, she lied because I didn't just hand the girl money. I was standing there, I felt guilty. I'm next to this girl dancing, and I took one of her dollar bills that she had just earned of hundreds, and I gave her one. And she got jealous and was pissed off.
Were you injured when she hit you?
The first 2 times she's hitting like a girl, it didn't hurt, and I did say, yeah, you hit like a girl, hit me again. She hit me again. Third time, she belted me so hard, my lip just exploded. Blood was coming out. And it almost knocked me down. Believe it or not, she can hit pretty good.
Okay, and what about hitting you with the clog in your head? She hit you with the clog.
Federales are coming, and it's an urgency, so they stuff us in the cab, and we're driving, but we just keep arguing in the cab, arguing back and forth, and she hits me in the back of the head with a clog, and I barely remember that, except the next day I had a big bump on my head. We get through the United States, like she said, we go to the parking lot to use the bathroom before wherever we're going to go. We're going to drive. We're both drunk. And she gets passionate again. We start arguing. We had moments of calm and fury where we kind of calm down. And she's that way. She can fight good. So, you know, I'm going to tell you the truth. I was drunk at the time. I can't remember every detail that occurred. But I know that she was starting to get angry again. And I don't know if she was going to hit me or I thought she was going to hit me or she tried to. Can't remember. But I know that I grabbed her and I picked her up. And she was wrestling. And she went limp.
This was in the bathroom?
In the bathroom. And she was flailing, and I was drunk, and I didn't know that she hit her head. She just went limp in my hands. And she sunk down to the ground on her butt. And she sat there and looked up at me, and then she started to say she couldn't hear. And I really thought she was embellishing something. I didn't believe her at first, and she started to cry and scream and get more hysterical. And I didn't believe that she was hurt.
Ultimately,
really.
you took her to the hospital.
And ultimately, we ended up at the hospital. Her injuries are obviously real. The doctor found out that she had a bruise here in the back of her left ear, I think. Left ear, and she was, I don't know if she lost hearing or not.
What did you originally offer to pay her to
When the bills
help
came,
offset?
we'd split it.
You'd split it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable
That's
to
why I
me.
asked
Both
him
acted like idiots. It sounds pretty reasonable to me that you should split it.
She probably did hit her head as a result of me lifting her up. I don't think on purpose. I know on purpose I didn't try to hurt her.
After you arrived back in the United States and after this whole incident, did you continue to see each other?
Yes.
For how long?
About 4 more months until I kept catching him cheating on me. So I finally...
So you saw each other for 4 months after that? You had already gotten these bills?
Yes, I'd gotten it, and he's given me $25 on those
50.
bills.
I gave you 50.
25.
Did you ever take up this dancing as an occupation?
That's what I'm doing now.
Good, too.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Julie Opp wants her former boyfriend, John Gallagher, to pay the medical bills for an injury he caused when he became jealous over her appearance in a Tijuana strip club.
I read medical bills at $1,800.
And then also, I was suing him for $300 because I had to get a restraining order against him.
That's your problem. Listen to me. Miss Opp, I think you made a big mistake. I think this whole escapade in Mexico was a big mistake, and I'm not being judgmental. I'm just saying to you that getting drunk, and engaging in bar dancing with your boyfriend is not something that's designed to solidify a relationship in normal terms. Maybe I'm missing something. My kids might say to me, you know, you're operating in the 40s and 50s and 60s, Mother, but I don't think so. I think still people who care for each other don't want to see other people slipping dollar bills in somebody's panties.
It wasn't that
Do you
bad.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and certainly not acting as their agent, which is, to me, almost like acting under these circumstances like a pimp.
It was pretty innocent.
It's pretty nasty. So you ought to pay for, I'm not going to have him pay for the whole thing. You contributed to this ridiculousness. And as it happens, I believe that you contributed to it even more than you initially told me you did, because you went down there before with a girlfriend, which is something that you didn't tell me right away. You said you had never done anything like this before. Right? Isn't that what you told me?
Yeah.
All right.
Well.
So your medical bills, you didn't have any medical bills from being clocked by her, did you?
No.
No. Oh. Your medical bills were $1,800, and you're going to pay for half. So the judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $900. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And on the next...
Fry versus Alexander. Step forward, please.
28-year-old model Tanya Fry claims professional photographer Sean Alexander sexually harassed her during a studio session and did not return her slides. Sean's witness, Vanessa Gill, says he's a total professional.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom. Judge, number 42 on the calendar in the matter of Fry versus Alexander. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
You're a model?
Yes.
Aspiring?
Yes.
So you have to smile. Mr. Alexander, you're a photographer.
Yes, I am.
You needed pictures?
Yes.
You hired him to take pictures?
Yes.
Now you're suing him?
Yes.
For $1,000. Right? That's what you said.
They went up to $2,000 as of this morning.
Well, the papers that I have are for $1,000.
Good.
So why don't you tell me about this arrangement and why you think he owes you any money?
Well, he didn't agree to what we agreed in the first place.
Where did you meet him? Let's start with that.
The modeling management. Model. It's a model management.
Is that a company?
Agency.
An agency?
Modeling agency.
Was he referred to you by someone?
Well, he was there with my manager, and he showed me his pictures, his book, which was really good, that he took of other models. And yes, they did tell me his work was good. So, yes.
And what was the arrangement, the financial arrangement that you had with him?
I had to pay him, he said $250.
I didn't hear you.
It was $250, and that was for the photo shoot. I was getting 2 rolls of pictures.
You were getting 2 rolls of pictures, or he was shooting 2 rolls of pictures?
He was going to shoot 2 rolls of film. He said I would get 2 rolls, which would be 72 pictures that I would get. Okay.
That you would get to keep?
That I would get, yes. That's what you do when you take pictures. You get your proof sheet, you get your negatives, and your slides.
And what else was he supposed to give you for this $250?
Well, after I received the pictures from him, he does other things, or he does half of the job, you know, like the background change or the eye change or different things he do extra to the pictures. So that would be extra amount, right? Extra amount of money. I know about that. Okay, extra amount of money. So I paid for 4, which was $100, he said, and I have those 4.
4 photographs that you paid for out of your contact sheets.
This was,
And that was $25 a piece, or another $100?
It was $100 for 4. Okay, I received those. Then we went back to the pictures. He brought some of the pictures. He said I would need 7 or 8 more pictures, so we picked 7 more pictures.
7 additional ones?
Additional ones.
At what cost?
$175. And then, because at the photo shoot, he only took cash. For these 4 pictures, he only took cash. He said only cash. Okay, so with these additional ones, only had a checkbook, and I had no more money. So I post-dated the check. He didn't want to take it, but before I left, he said he would take the check. So I post-dated the $175 check for those 7 additional pictures.
How long did you post-date the check for?
It was, about a week. Because it was, the week Thursday, and it was next Thursday, so it was a week.
Okay.
Which he had cashed it before the post-dated check. You understand? I didn't know they can do that, but
I didn't know either.
But he did, because I called the bank.
Okay.
Because I did not receive those 7 pictures, and I had been calling him, and he wouldn't return my phone calls to get me those pictures.
So that's what you're suing him for?
Yeah, for those pictures, and then the slides that I want also. The rest of my pictures, the slides.
You want the contact sheets and the negatives?
Yes.
Now, sir, let's start with the 7 pictures first. You cashed her check for $175?
Yes, I did.
And that was for 7 pictures?
7 pictures.
Where are her 7 pictures?
They're right here.
Take them out.
I mean, I have no problem with her testimony all the way to the end.
Okay.
Because, you know, she's just about right. I mean, we had an agreement, and what happened was that she said, I went out of my way to make this arrangement for her. Starting from the beginning, I charge $150 a roll. 2 rolls, $150, times 2 is $300. She bargained it down, and she knows that. She said, I'd like to shoot with you. I've seen your work. It's great. I said, okay, you know what? I'll make it $250, but that's it. She comes to the shoot. We'll do 2 rolls. In the middle of the session, of course, when I'm shooting, I ask the client, you know, I finished the rolls. Do you want to go on? And I added 1 extra roll, and I did not even charge her for it. And so I finished the job. She was very happy. When it came to the ordering, she just kept saying she doesn't have the money. I even went out of my way. What I did was I went ahead and printed the pictures without asking any money for it. I said, you know what, I'm so confident that you're going to like the pictures, so I'll show you, just pay me when you pick it up. She saw it, she liked it, and she ordered some more. But then again, we had money problem. And she said, well, can I post the check? I said, sure you can. I mean, I know you're good for it. You've been paying me. I have no problem with her. She's a very nice lady. I mean, I don't know why we are even here. But, she posted the check, and I told her, I said, number 1, your check is post-dated for a week. I have to wait until I cash it because, you know, I'm not going to print.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, and number 2, I was going to go out of town for a week. I mentioned that to her, and I said, when I come back, I pick up the picture and I'll give it to you.
How long did it take you to do the other 7 pictures after she had given you the check? No, not usually. In this case, how long was it before you completed those pictures?
About a week to 10 days.
Okay. Can I see the photographs?
Sure.
I would really like to see them. Now, the only other thing that I have to ask you, sir, is about this arrangement where she would get all the negatives and the
It's not my
sheets.
practice whatsoever. I have hundreds of receipts here that I always mention on the bottom of my receipts. If they ask for it, I'll write it down. I do not include the picture. I do not include any negative or slides. It is just for the session. I charge $150 just to shoot. I even brought my witness that we just shot yesterday, and this is my just a very last and desperate attempt to get somebody, because I had somebody to show up today and she canceled. She had a shoot. I had a model was supposed to be here.
Well, what is she going to tell me if she was testifying?
She was going to actually just basically how I charge people and how we, I usually,
All I can tell you, Miss Fry, is these are terrific. Have you seen them?
I never see.
Well, I would love you to take a look at them. I think that they're really exceptional.
No, I've never said that he does the good work, but I have another comment about the amount. Actually, was $2,000. Posted in
Whether it was $2,000, I don't know what you're suing for $2,000 for. $1,000. Just a second. I don't know what you would be suing for $1,000 or $2,000 for.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He was behind me, okay, grabbing my rear, telling me again how attractive my butt looked, how good it looked, making all these sexual comments.
And later today,
Tying their shoelaces together, sir, is a far cry from using a cigarette lighter and setting somebody on fire.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Photographer Sean Alexander denies that he took liberties with model Tanya Fry during a photo session, and his witness Vanessa Gill says Sean has a spotless reputation.
Now you have all 7 pictures that you paid for.
Okay,
right? Just a second. Just a second. And I think that if you had not had a final written agreement with regard to these negatives,
right,
I would not award you the negatives, because I don't believe it's custom in the industry for a photographer to give away the value of his trade, because that means that you can take these negatives and go into any photocopy store and say, I want you to make me pictures. Well, that's how he makes his money, because $250 for a photo shoot is very reasonable, right?
More than reasonable.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So photographers make their money, professional photographers, over the other pictures that you keep ordering from them. So I think it's unreasonable for you to ask for those. He was supposed to shoot 2 rolls, and from those shot rolls, you were going to select other pictures that you were going to order. In this case, you ordered a total of 11
I even
pictures.
shot extra rolls.
Well, that wasn't said. The said was you'll get 72 pictures, which would be more than enough what you would need for your book. So
I still don't understand why you're suing him for...
Well,
I still don't understand why you're suing him for $2,000. Then we'll get to this watch that you're holding. Is that her watch?
Yeah, I think that's what it is, cost $2,000. I don't know. I mean, that's what
just a second. Was that left during the photo shoot?
Yes.
So give it back to her.
And then...
Take your watch.
The other incident was the harassment.
What kind of harassment?
The photo shoot, the sexual harassment.
I can't believe this.
That was...
All right, so you're suing for sexual harassment. Let me hear. Is that what the money is for? Let me hear.
Changing in the room.
In what room?
It was in the dressing room at this house.
I have a makeup.
I'm going to get to you. Go ahead.
It was during this shoot that I was changing from the bathing suit to get in this position. He was behind me, okay, grabbing my rear, telling me all these accusations, how sexy, how attractive, ooh, how this looks so good, my behind, grabbing it. That was one incident. This
just a second. At
photo
what
shoot right here.
Just a second. At what stage was this?
During the photo shoot, toward the end of the photo shoot.
Go ahead.
Okay. During this photo shoot, he told me I had to raise it up more, the dress, put it up or on the side. So he came over there behind me. He did it again, hit me on the butt, telling me again how attractive my butt looked, how good it looked, making all these sexual comments. I was ready to leave. I told him, don't say that, don't do that. I said I was ready to go.
Are we done? Did that happen, sir?
It's total bogus. Let me tell you, throughout the photo shoot, I do make the models feel comfortable, and I do say certain things so they are comfortable. I pose them, I do whatever it's necessary to make him look good, and that's what the pictures are the proof, you can tell. But as far as She said she was ready to leave. She was ready to leave to have, she even said, maybe want to go get something to eat. That's as far as I left it at the photo shoot, and that was it.
Miss Fry, I have a couple of questions for you. You did this photo shoot. Towards the end of the photo shoot, you tell me now you believe he sexually harassed you. You stayed, correct? You stayed, is that right?
But I told him don't do it.
And after the photo shoot was concluded, you got the proofs back, right? And you selected 4 photographs. So far, am I right? And you were satisfied with them, you ordered them. Is that right?
I mean, you should
Check. Do I look like I need help?
No, no.
Ms. Fry, look at me.
Yes.
You ordered 4 pictures.
Yeah.
And you were satisfied with them. You told them they were very good, and so good you wanted more pictures, correct?
Yes.
If you had gotten your 7 pictures when you felt you should have gotten them, which was a couple of weeks ago, would I hear sexual harassment from you? Would I hear these allegations of sexual harassment from you?
Yes, because they were true. It happened.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How many photographers have you been with?
Several.
Really? You seem to be a little bit naive to me on the situation. I'm sorry
for that. Well, who are you? You need to shut up and mind your own business.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Model Tanya Fry is suing photographer Sean Alexander over slides and alleged harassment.
Is what you're saying to me, you planned on suing him whether he gave you the pictures or not?
About the sexual harassment?
Yes. Is what you're telling me that you intended when you left, or a day later or 2 days later, whether or not you got these photographs, you intended to sue him for $2,000 for sexually harassing you?
Oh, no. I was not sure of what I was going to do about those sexual harassment
Well, what made you
charges.
sure?
I wanted to let them know what was done to me during a photo shoot.
No, what I'm asking you is, at what point did you become sure that you wanted to sue him for this sexual harassment? After you ordered the first set of pictures, before you ordered the first set of pictures, when you ordered the second set of pictures?
The second. That's when I found out that I could not get my slides or negatives when he told me he was not going to give them to me because he keep them for his record.
So you determined to sue him for this $2,000 for sexual harassment when he declined to give you the negatives. Is that correct?
When I didn't get all of my things.
Very good. Okay, you now have your photographs. Is that correct?
I have some of them.
No, you have all of them. You have all that you ordered, which were the 7 retouched large photographs. And you have the 4 that he originally gave you. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you, sir, have been paid $175 for these.
Yes.
And you have been paid the $100 for the other 4.
Yes.
Correct? And you have been paid $250 for the photo shoot.
Yes.
Very good. This case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm sorry, Tanya, but I think, you went a little bit out of line.
No, I did not.
You know I did everything I could. You know I did everything I could.
No, I did not.
Okay? I think the judge saw the whole thing. This is just ridiculous, but I'm glad to solve it.
And now the next case.
All parties on Hanley versus Lewis. Step forward, please.
25-year-old landscaper Lawrence Handley says Richard Lewis set his shirt on fire to wake him up. Lewis says Handley had previously set off a firecracker at his feet.
Why in the world would you burn him with a cigarette lighter?
Well, it was kind of a practical joke. I wasn't intending to burn him. I was just intending to make his arm warm. It's just a gag, like a hot foot or something like that.
How old are you?
27.
Tell me how it happened.
We were waiting at my friend Scott's house here. It was after a softball game.
A what?
A softball game.
Softball game.
And we were going to go out for a couple cocktails after the game. A few people were supposed to meet us there. I fell asleep while we were waiting.
Where, in the living room?
Yeah, in the living room, in a chair in his house. I woke up. I felt or smelt something burning on my arm, and I kind of hopped up, and my shirt was on fire. And I jumped out of the chair and, started hitting my arm, and my arm was burned up, and I kind of looked around. I was in a daze. I'd just woken up, and I see him, and actually Scott was laughing too. I see him cracking up right next to me. Sort of found out that...
Did you ask him why he did that?
And he basically told me, oh, well, I was trying to, you know, get you or something like that, burn your arm or light your hair on fire or something ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I don't know. He was still laughing up a storm about it, and I wasn't too pleased, you know, so.
You still have a mark there?
Yeah, I do.
Can I see it, please? Step up.
Step up. It's smaller than it used to be, but it used to be about as big as a baseball.
How long ago did that happen?
4 or 5 months ago.
Did you see that, sir?
This is the first time I saw it when he showed it to you.
You want to see it? Sure.
Well, he wants some damages for your stupidity.
Well, Your Honor, it's, you know, in all fairness, our group of friends, when someone passes out or goes to sleep, we play practical jokes on him before. I know for a fact that he's done it to other people, tie people's shoelaces together. I mean, that's why I have a witness to corroborate.
Tying their shoelaces together, sir, is a far cry from using a cigarette lighter and setting somebody on fire.
Well, I wasn't
intending
to light him on fire.
At age
That's the whole
27.
thing.
What were you trying
do you work?
Well, yeah, I do. You know,
Well, just
if I start acting like I'm 27, I'm going to be 27. If I act like a kid, I'm going to be young for the rest of my life.
What kind of work do you do?
I sell copy work and graphics work to law firms, Overflow.
It's amazing.
That sounds like a pretty responsible position, sir.
It is.
So when do you take on this infancy that you do? Just on weekends?
I like to have fun. You know, in all fairness, too. In previous, I think it was last year on 4th of July, you know, he thought it was a cool gag to throw a firecracker at my girlfriend and I. And scared her pretty good. It pissed me off real good.
What?
And, you know, he just laughed it off and everybody laughed. And, you know, it was funny to him, you know.
Anybody get hurt?
No. But, you know,
I don't even know what he's talking about.
I don't know what he's talking about either. He's talking about trying to be Peter Pan for the rest of his life.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's suing you for $2,500 because he said he got burned and it hurt and it got infected.
I have a shirt too, by the way.
Let me see it.
It's kind of dirty.
That's pretty scary.
I haven't washed it since then, but
it's pretty scary. Did you ever say I'm sorry?
Yeah, I did. You know,
no, he didn't.
When? Just a second. When did you say I'm sorry?
At the time. I mean, we were still laughing, so I probably didn't take it.
Who was laughing?
I was. Scott was as well.
I'm laughing too. $2,500 for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. Step out, please. I'll back to you right.
On the next Judge Judy.
Step forward, please.
22-year-old insurance salesperson Dania Norris says former roommate Krista DeReamer, age 22, skipped out on rent and fees. Krista is countersuing Dania for telling her parents she was an exotic dancer.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 465 on the calendar in the matter of Norris versus DeReamer. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Miss Norris, how long did you know the defendant before you invited her into your home?
I knew her approximately 2 years, but we had lost contact for an entire year.
There came a time, according to your complaint, that the defendant was having some difficulty and left her family's home and moved into your home.
Correct.
And you say she was there for about 4 months?
About 3 months.
And that she left owing you some money?
Yes.
What was the rental agreement that you had with her?
It was $100 a month for rent. At a common courtesy, I expected a month of notice, 1/3 utilities, help out with groceries, which she did. She paid for utilities in October, but she still owes for November and part of December.
Okay. And according to these papers, she moved out on December 12th.
Correct.
So you want her to pay the whole month of December?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what else does she owe you for?
She owes $70 for late fee. We gave her the opportunity to pay the rent, and it never came. So I figured $10 a day, and then I decided to take it to court.
$10 a day?
Uh-huh.
For late fees?
7 days. And then I decided to take it to court. I had already given her 2 weeks.
It doesn't seem like an awful lot of money that you're suing for, $294. So there must be another reason why you're bringing this lawsuit, because you had to take time away from whatever else you do. I assume you work?
Mm-hmm. Part-time.
Who is this?
This is my husband. He's also my witness.
And I assume he works?
Yes.
So you took time off from whatever business you had to do, so there must be something more to this than $294.
No, we just took her in. She was pregnant. Basically would have given her the shirts off our back, and she stabbed us in the back.
So, I'm listening.
My side of the story. Well, I had known Dania. It's true that I had known her for 2 years. And I was telling her about my situation. I told her I was pregnant, and I said, you know, I just know that my family's going to kick me out. I know that my boyfriend's going to bail on me, and I think that I should have an abortion. And she said, no, we want you to keep it, and to do that, we're willing to help you out. We want you to stay with us. We're going to give you encouragement, and all we ask for is that you pay $50 for groceries. And so I did, to my best ability, fulfill that. And they were constantly fighting all the time. After I lost my baby, they started asking for $100 rent. You know, as if losing my baby and my family and the boyfriend wasn't enough. You know, can we get $100 out of you because we spent too much on our credit cards? And I just got fed up with it because the bills kept coming.
But you did pay her $100 at least twice for rent.
Because she said she didn't have food to feed her baby.
No. That means if you didn't have food to feed the baby, then maybe you give her $20. So clearly, based upon what she's saying, you did have some arrangement with her to give her rent. Were you working?
I was.
Well, if you were working when you moved in with her and her husband, then you should pay rent, right?
Right.
Of course. I have a paper here. This is Krista's handwriting. She even has written on it, rent utilities, $153. Looks like a monthly thing to me.
Well, let me take a look. Let me ask you this question. What did you write up this little sheet of paper for? To see what your expenses were?
Indeed.
Indeed. All state insurance, $153. What is that for?
Auto insurance.
For a
car?
That belongs to you?
Yes.
Okay, so you have a car. What kind of car do you have?
Ford Probe.
And you pay $153 a month so that you can drive the car?
Yes.
And Colorado National Bank, $3,000. What was that for?
It was a leftover expense from my fiance and I's bank account.
You have a credit union payment? $2,000? Payment is $163. What kind of work do you do?
I work for Allstate Insurance.
And how long have you worked for them?
I've worked for them for 4 months.
And prior to that, who were you working for?
I was working for Home Depot.
In what capacity?
I was a cashier.
Okay. So you built up a lot of debt here.
Indeed.
Indeed you did. One of the debts you had, madam, was to pay rent. Because you drive a car, you pay insurance, you buy clothes. According to this, you buy a lot of other stuff. And you even list here what your bills are, $153 rent and utilities. Right? So how can you say you didn't have an agreement with her to pay rent?
I didn't have a written agreement. I never had a key to the house. My things were never secured.
Look, you weren't a prisoner there, were you?
No.
So if you didn't like the accommodations, you pick yourself up, you pack up your little suitcase, and you leave.
I had nowhere to go.
That's not her fault. That's your fault.
It's true.
Come on. You had a verbal agreement that you would pay her $100 a month. You didn't pay it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So I was in the process of redeveloping a relationship with my family, and because of what she said to them, they won't talk to me anymore. I live across the street, they don't even wave.
And later today,
next thing I hear this verbiage, "Here I come, Herbert." He swung around with his fists and hit me in the right eye, and there was blood everywhere, and I couldn't see out of my right eye.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dania Norris is suing former roommate Krista DeReamer for running out on the rent. Krista says Dania slandered her by telling her parents she was a topless dancer.
Look, what you are suggesting as far as late fees, I think is excessive. I really do.
I also have some pictures, if you'd like to take a look at them.
Yeah.
One of them is probably not appropriate. Used condoms that were left between the mattresses and the wall.
She left the place a mess. Is what you're saying? She left the place a mess? I don't have to see the pictures. Now, these things that you are suing her for, a piece of the power and light, a piece of the phone, piece of the trash, piece of the water, cleanup fee. How much did you pay to clean up the place?
We didn't clean anything, but I figured our time and effort to throw away the trash and the dead flowers is worth $10. It was very disrespectful.
She was disrespectful. Now, we don't come up to a lot of money here. I'm going to address myself to your countersuit, which, at least on paper, looks like nonsense. You're countersuing for $1,200. In 3 minutes or less, tell me why.
The reason being is because I was in the process of redeveloping a relationship with my family, and because of the night that she decided to go and tell them that about my past work experience, that they won't talk to me anymore. I live across the street, they don't even wave. My father had agreed to pay for my medical expenses for a year so that I could get back on my feet after my miscarriage. And because of what she said to them, I'll never have my family back, and I feel that the least I should get is my health.
Where's your father?
In Colorado.
Well, let me explain something to you. You are asking me to assume that if she said anything to your father, it's because of that, in his mind, that he's not talking to you.
That's right.
Well, I can't do that. No court's going to do that. It's ridiculous. So your counterclaim is dismissed, and I'm giving you a judgment for $114. That's all.
Parties not excused. You may step out.
Thank
you. Yeah. At the back, go to your right.
We went over to her parents' house to see if they were willing to bail her out of trouble again, and they said that she's been lying to them ever since they can remember.
I would say that they're small-town people that think small.
And now the next case.
Parties on Herbert versus Ryan. Step forward, please.
58-year-old salesman Greg Herbert claims roommate 39-year-old marketing rep Chris Ryan assaulted him, causing severe eye injury.
Now, are you neighbors? Is that what I understand this to be?
We were living in the same house, Your Honor.
In the same house?
Same house.
Not an apartment house, a private house?
It's a cottage, a 3-bedroom house.
And how long had you been living there together?
I had been there over a year. He had been there 4 or 5 months, Your Honor.
According to your complaint, he assaulted you?
Yes, Your Honor.
When?
On the evening of December the 5th, 1997.
And tell me the circumstances surrounding the assault, sir.
I was on the telephone this one evening about 5 in the afternoon, and I heard a lot of noise out in the front of the house, barking like a dog, and general commotion. I went out the front door, and Mr. Ryan was sitting in a chair right outside the front door with one of the neighbor's kids, and he was making a lot of noise and barking. So I said, please, you keep the noise down. I'm on the phone to San Francisco. I can't hear. I went back to my room. The noise continued. I went out, it said the same thing a second time. Went back, third time, same thing. No abatement of noise, no apologies or anything. The fourth time, I went out, closed the door, I locked the door, went back into my room, got back on the phone. A couple of minutes later, I heard the screen being torn out of my window, which is, my desk is facing the wall, my back is to the window. The drape is closed over the window. Next thing I hear this verbiage, "Here I come, Herbert." He vaulted into the room onto my bed. My bed is right underneath the window. I got up from my chair, starting to get a little fearful, went through the door. He swung around with his fists and hit me in the right eye. He was on my left. I was just reaching towards the door. All of a sudden, there was blood everywhere. And just to show you, Your Honor, this is my shirt that I was wearing at the time. These are my jeans that I was wearing. They have been washed once, but there are still blood stains visible. I have a cordless phone on my desk. I reached around, picked up the phone to dial 911. He grabbed hold of me, pulled me down, grabbed the phone out of my hand. So I immediately just got up, went into the bathroom. There was blood everywhere, and I couldn't see out of my right eye. I went over the sink. There was blood coming down to the sink, picked up a towel. He came into the room beside me and said, "Why did you get in my face?" So I said, "Well, I'm blind in one eye. I'm going to hospital."
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're not living together, are you? Did you move out?
He moved out at the end of the month.
He moved out.
In December, yeah.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Greg Herbert is suing Chris Ryan for punching him in the eye.
Okay, Mr. Ryan. Let me hear you, sir.
On the day that we're talking about, I was on the porch, and I did have one of the neighbor kids over, and he was singing, and that's what Mr. Herbert came out, not any dog barking. Mr. Herbert came out the door, yelling at the top of his voice, telling us to quiet down. We're disturbing his peace and quiet in the bedroom. Went back in his room. Oh, first he told me he was going to kick my butt. Then he went back in the house and locked the door. He didn't come out 3 or 4 times. He came out once. I tried to get in the house. The door was locked. I tried all the other doors. They were locked too. I worked my way around to the back of the house where Mr. Herbert's window was. When I got to the window, I believe I surprised him. I have known Mr. Herbert for about 10 years and known Mr. Herbert to be extremely paranoid. I believe that when I caught Mr. Herbert off surprise, his paranoia and his hyperactivity, he lunged up to close the bedroom window, and he has a futon bed directly behind his desk. That's when he slipped and fell into the window. I, not knowing what was happening, put my hands up, and that's when I think his face hit the screen, which hit my hand, popping the screen off, cutting his eye. That's when he dialed, apparently, 911, walked out of the room, and that's when I came in the house, the only entrance I had. I didn't know what he was going to do, and that's what happened. And the police came. They took a police report. There were no arrests made. Loss of wages? The guy sells surfboards. How could he lose any wages? I didn't touch the gentleman, and that's what happened.
All right. Now, is this a one-story house?
It's a one-story house.
And how many windows are there in the house?
Approximately 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So the only window that was available to you to go in was the window in his room.
I tell you, the reason why that is because the other gentleman there, Mr. Warner, who was our landlord, he's extremely paranoid too, and he wouldn't let me leave the house without having all the windows locked. Wouldn't let me leave my room without locking all the windows. Mr. Herbert was the kind of...
So what you're telling me is of the 10 or 12 windows, which I assume you tried, Mr. Ryan, correct, before you went into his window?
Well, yes, I did.
You tried all of the other 9 or 10 or 12 windows before you found that the only possible way of getting into the house was to enter through his bedroom window. Is that correct?
It was not to enter through his window. It was to get to his window and attempt to get him to open the front door for me. But again, because I...
But you wound up, sir, in his room.
I wound up in his room after...
You wound up in his room?
Yes, I did.
Did he pull you into his room?
No, he didn't.
Well, did some force greater than both of you force you into his room?
There's no force. I told you after Mr. Herbert walked out of his bedroom, me not knowing what his next move was, I came in through the window to get back into the house.
Now, how high up was the window?
Shoulder height, I would say.
So you had to sort of lift yourself up. It's not a walk-in window.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me understand this. Because of the landlord, you're the landlord?
No, I'm the original tenant.
Okay, because of this gentleman and his paranoia, all of the other 12 windows on the first level were bolted. So the only place that you could go was to his window. And you never entered into the room until after he somehow fell on the screen which caught in somehow contact with your hand.
He didn't actually fall on the screen.
Which somehow hit his eye.
Well, it kind of sounds like you're kind of putting words into my mouth, Your Honor.
Listen, sir, I couldn't understand, quite frankly, your explanation.
I just told you, he jumped up.
He jumped up.
He slipped on the bed apparently behind him, lunging to get the window closed, apparently because of his paranoia.
What do you mean closed? Was his window open?
Oh, yeah, the window was open. His bedroom window was open.
And no screen in it?
No, it did have a screen on it.
So
the
what
screen popped off after he fell into it. Bonk. Screen pops off.
It popped off outside or inside?
Outside.
It popped off outside, and somehow when it popped off, he cut his eye?
I think when he fell from slipping on the bed into the screen. Look at the shape the gentleman's in.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It's my job to try to evaluate the evidence that's presented before me, what sounds as if it's common sense, logical, and what sounds as if it's a crock of baloney. On that side, we have a crock of baloney. Flying screens, slippage, bolted windows. Now, Mr. Herbert, I will tell you now, sir, that I don't excuse you for locking the door. I mean, you know, he's supposed to have access to the house, so that what you did was wrong to lock the door. But I don't think that that in any way contributed to what happened to you, because Mr. Ryan, if he were acting in a normal, adult fashion, could have either called the landlord, called the police, and say, I've been locked out of my house. The response is not to come flying into your bedroom window and socking you in the eye. That is not a normal, adult, reasonable response. So while it was not the right thing to do, to lock the front door, you're not living together, are you? Did you move out?
He moved out at the end of the month.
He moved out.
In December, yeah.
For everyone, I'm sure, Mr. Ryan. Mr. Herbert, you are suing the defendant for $5,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Based upon the... Based upon what I've seen here, you're entitled to your $5,000.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You want to do anything else? You want to do anything else?
Do I look like I'm feeling bad?
And $50 court costs. Thank you.
Excuse. You may step out.
April Harrington says former live-in boyfriend Fred Badman sold her belongings after she moved out. Fred is countersuing, claiming April also stole from him.
Ms. Harrington, according to the complaint that I read, you and the defendant were in a relationship and lived together for a period of time. When you moved in together, you took some of your stuff and put it in a storage unit. The storage unit was in Mr. Badman's name.
That's right.
And he paid for it.
No.
That's what he says. There came a time when the two of you parted company, a day that you will tell me about briefly, and it is your claim that he got rid of the stuff in your storage unit, which you wanted back. Mr. Badman acknowledges that he emptied the storage unit. Some of your stuff he gave to the Salvation Army. Some of your furniture he still has. And the reason he did that was that when you moved out, you took a substantial amount of property that did not belong to you, that belonged to him and to his daughter, and he has a counterclaim. How long did you live together?
He moved in with me in February of 2004. He had a dog, and I had a dog, and I was only allowed one dog at my apartment complex. Therefore, he moved into his own place, and about a few weeks after him living there, he begged me to move in, told me how much cheaper it would be.
Just listen to me.
Okay.
This is not a 1,000-page tome that we're going to do here. When did you move in together?
May of 2004.
And when did you put your property in storage?
The end of May, I believe.
The day she moved in. There wasn't room in my apartment for many of the
What
things.
did you put in storage?
I put living room furniture, dishes. My parents had started collecting teddy bears for me when I was a child. A futon, a bed, clothes, shoes, dresser, desk combination, a glass mirror, and my diploma, important tax information papers, all sorts of things.
And when did you separate?
July 25th, 2004.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding your moving out.
I had found out that he had been cheating on me with her, that is his baby's mother. We were going to court for custody of his child, me and him together, and I found out that he was cheating on me. I came home from work early, asked him, you know, why are you doing this? Can we please talk about this? He then shoved me into a dresser, and I dislocated my finger. The police then told him that he should leave the apartment for a few days while I got my things together. Within those 3 days, he came back and broke in his own door, busted the lock off, and I moved out the very next day because I wasn't safe living there with no lock on the door. I took the things that belonged to me and only me. The only thing that I have of him are some pornography tapes that I did not bring with me because of the security on the airplane, and I didn't want them flashing about. They're kind of disgusting.
What'd you take them for?
They were actually in a box of movies of mine.
When did you try to get your property back?
Right after I moved out, I went to the storage unit to see. I had a key to it because my things were in it. I did pay for it, and he had changed the locks.
Now I'll hear you, sir.
When we did break up, it was because of accusing me of fooling around with her. We were just friends. We've always stayed friends because we have a child in common. So I didn't want to argue, so I left the home. She called the police. We went down there. She decided she didn't want to say anything because she told the police that I beat her up or whatever. So then we went to the police station.
You
she
did. You broke my finger.
anything. She did not file the report.
Harrington.
Anything. She said.
Shh. Don't say anything when he's testifying. You know how quiet he was when you were telling me your story? I read your complaint very carefully. You came home and you wanted to talk to him. That's
Correct.
what you said in your complaint.
Correct.
He was sleeping.
No, he was up.
It says, I'm reading from your complaint, things were going terribly for us, and he was served with an eviction notice. On July 25th, not June, on July 25th, 2004, everything came to a head. We were in an argument. I came home from work to talk to Fred. He was sleeping, and I tried to get him to talk to me. That's what you said.
Okay, that's fine.
And when you want to talk to somebody and they're sleeping and they don't want to communicate with you, you get angry.
No, I was not angry.
You weren't angry.
No, I was not.
No, you weren't angry.
I was upset.
You were living with somebody. You think he was fooling around with the mother of his child. According to you, you came home. You found him sleeping. You went in there, and he didn't want to talk to you. And so he broke your finger.
He did.
Miss Harrington, I have no question that your finger got broken. I don't think he broke it.
He wrote it in his report to the police. I actually have it.
Oh, I'd like to see that. He said he broke your finger. I'd like to see that.
Yes, it does say that.
I squeezed her hand. And that was after she went and punched the wall
It's
about 20
highlighted in
times
yellow.
around her. On the report, it says that there's no injuries to anybody. She didn't report any injuries to the police.
No,
right
there were none marked.
I just wanted her to leave me alone. April started to poke me on the right side of my body with her finger. I told her to leave me alone. She continued to poke me with her finger, saying, stop being a blank jerk and talk to me. You know, you live long enough, you could practically write the scenario. I want to talk to you. Leave me alone. I just want to sleep. I don't want to talk to you now. Leave me alone. I want to talk to you. Then you say, I rolled over and grabbed her hand. I cannot remember which I had grabbed, but it was her bad hand, and she started crying. April asked me why I grabbed her like that, and I said, because you keep poking me.
I wasn't poking him. I really wanted to talk about it. I was very upset.
Listen to me. I got it. You just told me you weren't upset.
No,
listen to me. A moment ago, you said, I came home from work, I just wanted to talk, I wasn't upset. Listen to me, Miss Harrington.
Your Honor, I wasn't angry. I was very upset. I was crying, hurt. I was not angry.
Then what I'm telling you is, you upset, angry, whatever it was, you can't put your hands on somebody like this. And if they don't like it, which she said, you gave me the report. So you want to vouch for the truth of this report.
No, just
the part that you like.
No, that's not true. If you read my statement also.
I'm reading his statement. Okay. That's what you gave me.
If you keep reading it, he also pushed me in the face and kicked me off the bed. And
listen to me. He wanted you to leave him alone.
So it's okay if he kicks me. And
you shouldn't have put your hands on him. Miss Harrington, you put your hands on
I wasn't hurting him. I was.
Listen to me. You can't put your hands on somebody and continue to irritate them and expect them to do nothing.
That's fine.
Good. What property of hers did you give away to the Salvation Army?
Things I gave away of hers, I went and retrieved all the stuff from the storage unit because I didn't want to pay
What
anymore
month did you do that?
February 05, ma'am.
So you left it there for 6 months?
Many months I left it there.
She asked you for the stuff back.
I wanted my items back before I was going to give her anything. That's what I told her.
What items were they?
She took my entertainment stand, a bunch of movies.
Just a second. Entertainment stand. What does that look like, sir?
It's right here. And a tent. That's what I got pictures of.
I need a cup of coffee.
An entertainment stand, some movies.
Okay. I mean, this entertainment stand, did you put it together yourself?
Yes,
or
I did.
You put it together yourself?
Yes. I bought it from an appliance store years ago.
$69, you put it all together?
No, it was $300. It's a large entertainment stand.
I'm looking at it, sir. I got it.
Okay.
Let us say she took the entertainment stand. And she took
the tent.
Did you take his tent?
No, I did not.
Did you take his entertainment stand?
He gave that to me because where he was moving had a big screen TV and he no longer needed it.
Oh.
Big screen TV.
What else do you say she took of yours, sir?
She took my fishing tackle box, some PlayStation 1 video games. I don't know why she would have took my Jack, but Jack wasn't at my house no more. And she took my daughter's clothing and toys. Because when we were living together, we went out together, bought clothing and toys and many things for my daughter's birthday when she turned 1. And when she moved out, she figured I bought them, I'm taking them myself. So she took all the things that we bought together for my daughter.
All the things that she paid for?
Correct.
Good.
We paid
for. Listen to me. All the things that you paid for.
Correct.
Listen to me, Miss Harrington. You may have paid for them, but once you make a gift, then they no longer belong to you.
Okay, I actually bought them because we were going to custody for the child.
I don't care. They were not... The clothes didn't fit you.
Correct.
The toys weren't for you to play with. And once you purchase something and give it away, the gift is complete. You no longer have ties to it. You cannot take it. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
So that was wrong.
I know that was wrong.
So why didn't you give them back?
I took them out of spite, actually, honestly. And I did not give them back because we didn't talk anymore after that. He no longer... He wouldn't give me my things out of the storage unit. And
did he ask you for his daughter's things?
No, he
back?
never. He gave them to me willingly.
No, I don't believe that. Madam, you just said to me, that's a fib. Fib, because you just said to me, I took them out of spite.
Ma'am,
listen to me, you can't have it both ways.
I asked them for them back out of spite, yes, and he did give them to me willingly. I went to his new house.
Sounds to me like you
moved.
two people did a lot of nasty things to each other.
Very true.
But, Mr. Badman, you cannot dispose of her property.
I kept...
You can go to court and seek to recoup your $29.99 TV stand. Or, if you say your tent, which she says she doesn't have, that you can do. But you cannot give away her property.
I kept the important things, Your Honor. I kept all of her...
Oh, good. That's what I want to see. What important things that you kept?
I kept all of the furniture that she had, and I kept important documents like her taxes that she's been wanting.
Good.
And
I'd like to see all of those
her
things,
GED
sir.
papers.
Perfect. Oh, this is going to be
Would you like
such
my list also?
I'm speaking.
Okay.
It's all junk, Your Honor. Yes, I
In
have
your
all that.
house?
It's at my aunt's house.
It looks like it's in a barn.
It is. So I wasn't going to keep paying $85 a month for stuff.
You should have given it back to her.
I didn't want to do that when she's kept all my stuff.
You're a big baby, Mr. Badman. You're a baby.
All right.
Yeah, you're a baby. 5 days from today, she's going to pick up all of her property. It's to be put together in good order.
The place where my things are at, there are 13 cats, and the house itself and the barn itself is absolutely covered in feces and urine.
Miss Harrington, this is your choice. The property has been in Mr. Badman's possession now for over a year.
Correct.
You had a choice. Your choice was to immediately pursue him in court, just as you did now, a month later. Listen to me. A month later, and get your stuff.
He told me he sold it.
Well, then what brought you here a year later? It's not an answer.
He started leaving notes in my car, like trying to get in contact with me, so I went to see him, and he told me he sold them.
And I'm telling you, what you did was you waited for a year to pursue a matter in court, and now if you don't like the way the stuff has been, you're not going to get the cash for it. Okay. Now I want you to tell me what you gave to Salvation Army.
I gave 2 Rubbermaid bins of clothing that was all moldy and gross from sitting around forever. The little box of ceramic dishes that she had, a few of them items were broke, so I had to throw them in the garbage, and a little bag of teddy bears that were just junk, and that was it.
Mr. Badman, that junk is going to cost you $1,000.
For dishes?
They weren't broken when she left them, and the clothes weren't moldy when she left them. and the teddy bears were a collection of hers, and you had no right to dispose of them. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Now, what proof do you have that she took any of your property?
I don't really have proof of anything because when I've broken up with girls before and I've dealt with them stealing like a couple things, and I just wanted to move on with my life.
You mean this has happened to you before?
Yes, ma'am.
How many times?
A couple.
You're very unlucky in love. Are you together now with the mother of your child?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
You live together?
She's my fiance. We're just going to be married soon.
Oh, wonderful. So, you did a little bit backwards,
getting my life
but
all straightened out and everything's good, and just want to be with my child and get all this over with.
Very good. My complaint against Miss Harrington is a complaint that I can put on your shoulders as well, sir. You had a legal remedy, right?
I didn't choose to do anything.
You chose to do nothing.
Right.
And you have no proof that she took anything.
And she has no proof of what was in the storage unit either.
Listen to me.
Of the few items that she does have.
You just told me what it was that you, as far as I'm concerned, maliciously gave away, including something that she says was a teddy bear collection that she had for a very long time, and you said it was a bunch of junk teddy bears. It's not nice. That's irritating. You told me that. She didn't. I wouldn't even look at her list. I asked you what she gave to Salvation Army. So your counterclaim's dismissed. 5 days from today, she's going to pick up all of her stuff. And you owe her $1,000 for the stuff that you gave away wrongfully. That's all. Step out.
Gazina Jacobs is suing her former tenants, Benjamin Nelson and his girlfriend, Vanessa Enghorn, for rent, utility bills, and for severely damaging her rental property.
Ms. Jacobs, you rented a unit that you had, apartment.
Yes.
To the defendants. They were referred to you by a neighbor. According to your complaint, you had to evict them. They owed you rent. You want your rent. You want the damage that they did to your apartment, which you say was substantial. Mr. Nelson and Ms. Eichhorn say you owe them money. You kept their security deposit. They did not cause any damage to the unit. They were current in their rent until you shut off their electricity and their power, and they have a counterclaim. What kind of work do you do, Mr. Nelson?
I'm a handyman, mechanic, painter. I do a lot of things.
Do you work for anybody or you work for yourself?
I work for myself.
And what do you do?
I'm a hostess.
It's just the two of you in the unit? And how much was the rent?
$960 a month, plus electric and gas.
Which you were supposed to pay for yourself?
Yes.
When did you move in?
I believe it was September of '06.
When did they move in?
They moved in at the end of January of '07, and the lease agreement started 1st of February of '07.
I don't think that's right. We
Can I
lived
see
there
the
longer
lease,
than that.
please?
I have the lease agreement.
Are you on any prescribed medication, Mr. Nelson?
No.
You moved in February of '07, sir, not in September of '06. Okay. So, first let's start with the question of utilities. According to your answer, you say she agreed to rent us the unit and we signed the lease for $960 a month, including utilities. Now you say you were supposed to pay your own utilities.
Electric and gas, yes.
You were supposed to pay your own utilities. Did you put them in your name?
Right before we got evicted.
We had to.
What do you mean eventually you had to? You had to when you moved in February.
Well, they were in her name up until then because it was part of the agreement that our utilities would be included in the $960 rent.
Not according to him.
According to this evidence in these papers, that's what it was. It was in her name for a long time.
Well, it was, of course. It had to be in somebody's name.
Yes, and until she turned it off without notice.
Just a second. Were you supposed to pay the utilities?
Yes.
Why didn't you put the utilities in your name starting in February?
Because that wasn't part of the agreement that we had.
Of course it was.
We didn't have the money at the time.
That may be an answer.
So we agreed to do it when we had the money.
Yeah. Just a second. When did you have the money?
I believe April or May.
By April, she had already turned off the utilities.
That's when we got it in our name.
Because you didn't pay them. When did you move out?
We moved out around the beginning of June, around June 10th.
June 9th was our last day.
So you owe her rent for February, March, April, May, and June. 5 months.
No,
that is not true.
We've paid her up until like the last 2 months before we moved out.
I'm telling you that's what you owe her.
Okay.
Show me that you paid 5 months rent. If you didn't give her rent for 5 months, tell me when you stopped paying her rent.
I always brought her cash. I stopped paying her rent on about End of April, I stopped paying rent because I didn't have the money because I lost my job.
All right, fine. So far, you owe her $1,150 in rent, and you didn't pay the utilities for February, March, and April. I assume that they paid them in May because then they had to put them in their own name. At least
Yes,
you were off the
exactly.
hook. So how much do they owe you for utilities?
Utilities is, I got the receipts right here, $767.69.
Now, you have pictures of the damage to the apartment?
I sure do.
I'd like to take a look at it.
There's several sets of pictures. I also have a list from the repair person and the checks that I did pay a person to repair the $4,000 worth of damages.
How did these holes get in the wall?
That was a prior roommate.
Whose roommate?
Ours. A bad selection of a roommate.
Well, you owe her for this damage.
Yes, I believe we do. We're responsible because...
You are.
it's
It's your
my
roommate. You go find your roommate.
I'm putting in a small claim right now.
Go ahead.
That master bedroom, I know it was their bedroom, and right below those holes was their mattress. So, yeah, you can see her head there,
Your
right
Honor,
where he...
that is untrue. She's made a lot of allegations about us, about him doing bad things to hurt me, a lot of why reason why those holes are in our walls. Is
When
from
was the
him
last time
beating
the
me.
police were called to any residence where you have ever lived for domestic violence?
Never. Just this once. If she'd called.
Just a second. When in any of your residences were the police called on a complaint of domestic violence?
None that we know of.
She just said once.
Well,
No,
we believe that's what she called about.
Yeah,
Because they showed up, but nothing was ever done about it because nothing was wrong.
They showed up at the residence because they were looking for him. Because
This
he was
apartment is a pigsty. Don't you clean?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we had a roommate that came in while we were at work and damaged a lot of
It's
stuff.
filthy. That doesn't happen from a messy roommate. That happens from people who live like pigs.
I don't live like a pig, Your Honor.
Well, you did. I never saw a place so filthy.
I had to go through my house in 2 days' time, and I had to pretty much tear everything apart that I had and find what was sentimental to me, pack it up, and then start throwing a lot of my things away.
Should have paid your rent.
Your Honor.
You should have paid your rent. That's what happens when you don't pay rent or utilities.
We'd agreed to start paying it off. We'd actually started paying it off. And
Listen, she's not your mother.
I know.
She's your landlord. The first thing that you did was you moved into the apartment. You were supposed to put the utilities in your name. You didn't. Then you have a counterclaim that she had no right to turn off the utilities because she got tired of paying $767 for your utilities. Well, then you had no choice, but you put them in your name. At least she's off the hook. I don't know whether you stiffed the utility company or not. I assume you did. Now, then you leave an apartment like a pigsty and you blame it on a roommate. Well, so far it's everybody's fault but yours. Everybody else is wrong. She's wrong.
I'm taking responsibility since it was my roommate.
I really think it was your roommate, sir.
We've had...
I don't necessarily think it was your roommate. I don't believe necessarily it was your roommate just because you say it. Do you understand?
Oh, I understand.
Good. I'm glad you do. Okay, so far you owe her $19.17 just for your rent and the utilities.
And that's the detailed list of what was repaired.
Nothing was repaired, Your Honor, except for the holes in the walls, because I live right next to that place, and so does my neighbor, and she happens to walk by and she sees our things are still being used. A refrigerator that she said was damaged that we need to pay for to replace, still being used. It was like that before we moved in.
Show them these pictures, please.
The refrigerator was not repaired, and the refrigerator I'm not suing for. I'm just suing for the repairs Mr. Bean did on my rental unit.
Your Honor, I was going through all these items. That's why it looks like a pigsty like this.
Hey, just take a look at the toilet. The toilet isn't going through the items. That toilet hasn't been cleaned, it looks like, in 6 months. You owe $5,000 for your cleanup, for your rent, and for your utilities. Now, give me 30 seconds or less on your counterclaim. Let's go!
We don't believe we owe her because nothing was fixed before we even moved in.
Forget it. Next.
All of our stuff that was in the house, she told us we would have 2 days, and we had
Why
nowhere to
didn't
go.
you get your stuff out?
We stayed up all night trying to get our stuff out.
We had
but
2
we had a
days
house
time
full of
to do
stuff,
it.
so we got out what we
Did you
could.
pay rent in June?
I was giving her a couple hundred every
Did you
week.
pay rent in June?
Not in full, no.
Counterclaim's dismissed. You owe $5,000. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
25-year-old Suzanne Hiller is suing her ex-husband, Patrick King, for her lost wages after their daughter broke her leg.
Now it's case number 398 on the calendar in the matter of Hiller versus King. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Miss Hiller, you used to be married to Mr. King. You have one child together, is that right?
Yeah.
Child is now 6?
7.
7. Sometime last year, Mr. King was enjoying visitation with his daughter, and she had an accident and broke her leg. And you stayed home to take care of her. You weren't working at the time, having lost your job about a week before this accident. You claim that you asked Mr. King to give you extra money for the purposes of having somebody come to the house and watch your daughter while you went out to look for a job, and he refused. So you want your husband to compensate you for the time you spent home taking care of your daughter.
Correct.
Doesn't that sound ridiculous to you?
No, there's a little bit more to this story.
Well, that's the lawsuit.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume that during the period of this visitation, there was an accident when she broke her leg. How did it happen, Mr. King?
She had to use the restroom, and she had a friend over, and typically she waits a little too long sometimes, and she was in a hurry to get to the restroom, and she was wearing socks, brand new sparkly socks, which were really slippery, and she was running across the tile floor with her friend in chase behind her, and when she rounded the corner, she slipped and fell, and she's been told,
Whatever. It's an accident. Now, Miss Hiller, is there anything that you know that suggests that this is not the way your daughter broke her leg? After all, she was 6 years old, so I'm sure you asked her. And she said she was running and she fell. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
But the story's changed. Now, I heard that she
No, just don't look at him. Look at me.
Okay. I heard that she was running on the tile in the kitchen, playing with her friend, and he was in the bathroom. My daughter
What difference does it make?
Because
I mean, you're not suggesting that Mr. King caused the injury, that it was anything other than an accident.
I'm sure it was an accident.
Right. Now, has your daughter ever been to an emergency room other than this incident?
No.
Has she ever seen the doctor on an emergency basis?
No.
Has she ever gotten a very bad cold or sore throat?
No.
Nothing. So she is a miraculous 7-year-old who has never been ill.
She's very healthy.
I didn't ask you if she was very healthy or not. I had a whole bunch of children, and they were always sick. Children go to school, they get sick. They go to nursery school, they get sick. They play with their friends, they fall down, they need a stitch, and they break an arm, or they sprain a wrist. That's what happens with children. That's not his fault. That's an accident. Now, why do you think that he should compensate you for taking care of your own child?
Because I had actually just lost my job. She had broken her leg on a Sunday, and I had lost my job on that Friday. So it had only been literally a couple of days. I got a phone call from him on that Sunday, which was the 5th of December, saying that it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I don't care. You have to understand something. I don't care about that. I don't care about the call and she broke her leg and I didn't take her to the doctor right away. It doesn't make any difference to me. He's her father. Accidents happen. She broke her leg. You're her mother. You're her primary custodian. You stayed home and took care of her, aside from the fact you weren't working. I want to know under what theory you believe that your former husband should compensate you for taking care of your own child.
I was unable to collect any sort of money at that time. I had no way to work because I didn't have anybody to watch my daughter. She was in a cast for almost 6 months.
So what does that have to do with him?
She was out of school for about 4 of it.
What does that have to do with him?
He wouldn't watch her. I would ask him to come over.
Just a second. Is it true that you wouldn't watch your daughter?
No, I tried to see her. I actually tried to take her for regular visitation, and she wouldn't allow me to. Because she said she couldn't use her crutches. She didn't want her out of the house on her cast. Numerous other excuses, but I was denied the right to see her.
Ms. Hiller, is that true?
That's not true.
You mean he asked you to come and pick her up, and you said you can come and pick her up, and he didn't?
He wouldn't. I would ask him. I said, can you please come over?
Not come over.
Oh, no. Yeah.
No. I'm not talking about coming over to your house. I'm talking about coming, picking up his daughter, and taking her to his house.
He wouldn't. He actually had the opportunity once. He was going to come once because it took a while for her to actually not be sedated because she was heavily sedated because of the severity of the break. I have a copy of the x-ray if you'd like to see it.
I would not. Are you telling me that a 6-year-old child was heavily sedated for more than a day or two?
It was probably about 3 weeks. She was on codeine.
I don't know what kind of a doctor you used keeping a 6-year-old on codeine. In any event, Miss Hiller, your former husband says that the reason you're here, the reason that you decided to sue him after all of this time, is because you had made a request, and that request was to send your daughter to live with some relatives for 10 months while you went back to school. Did you ask him to permit you and to amend your agreement and the court order of visitation to allow your daughter to go and live with relatives?
She was going to stay there for 2 months.
Stay where for 2 months?
St. Louis, Missouri. That's where my mother and father live, who she goes and visits every summer.
You asked your former husband if she could go to St. Louis during what months?
It was the months of September, October, November.
That's school time. Where was she going to go to school?
My family was going to put her in school out there.
And he said no?
He said yes at first, and then he said no.
I never said yes. No way.
Mr. King, I have a sense that Miss Hiller has a problem with truth-telling.
You have a good sense, Your Honor.
That's totally incorrect.
Miss Hiller, he shouldn't even be asked if he will give up his daughter for 3 months for your convenience. That shouldn't be something that you should even consider. If you want to go to school, if you want to go on vacation, if you want to go trekking all over the world, you say to him, would you like, what's your daughter's name?
Ashlyn.
Ashlyn to come to live with you for the next 3 months or
I've been
6 months?
that.
Quiet.
Sorry.
I would like you to take Ashlyn for 3 months or 6 months because I want to go back to school. Whatever reason it was that you were going to send her to visit, to live, not visit, live with your parents. Because once she goes to live with your parents and they enroll her in school, that's not a visit. Did you ask Mr. King if he would be willing to take his daughter while you go back to school?
No.
Why not?
Because he's neglectful.
He is not neglectful, madam. You don't have a choice. If you want to send your daughter to live elsewhere, the first person who has the right to have custody of her is her father. Somebody that you picked, you married, and you chose to have a child with. And if you don't like that, that's too bad. But he's not a second-class citizen. If you want to go back to school, she goes to live with her father, not your parents 1,000 miles away. That's outrageous. And after he said no is when you filed this lawsuit. Outrageous. And I suggest that you not go to family court to seek permission for you to relocate your daughter, because Mr. King is going to get a copy of this tape, and your motivations are going to be quite clear.
But those are not my motivations.
You have no right to send your daughter to live with your parents to go to school when she has a parent here. If you are unwilling and unable to take care of her, then she goes to live with her father, not your parents, not your sister, not your cousin, not your aunt, not your godmother. She goes to live with her father, who says, I'm more than willing to take care of her if you don't want her in your custody.
I just feel he doesn't take care of her.
That's not your decision to make. You chose him as a mate, and you chose him as a father of your child. And I don't believe you when you say your daughter has never been sick, because she would be the only child in creation who has not had an ear infection, a bad cold, a fever. The only one that I know of. I have 5 children, 11 grandchildren. All of them had been sick. And I got news for you. They have wonderful parents, at least as good as you. So when you say she's very healthy, never been sick, I don't believe you.
She's had the flu.
Oh.
But she's never been to the doctor because of an
Well,
accident
if you didn't take, just a second, if you didn't take her to the doctor and she had the flu, you're a neglectful parent. Because if flu, you have a big fever. Then you call the doctor and you check it. And if you didn't, you're neglectful. See how easy that is? You don't think you're a neglectful parent, do you? He's not neglectful because his child broke her leg while visiting with him. It was an accident. Get over it. And if you can't take care of her because you want to go to school, you have to say to her father, I can't manage her and my school. Will you take her while I'm in school? And if you choose not to do that, then she stays with you. But you don't retaliate by bringing a lawsuit against him. That's outrageous.
But I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I had asked him for money earlier. I had asked him to help me with daycare.
You didn't bring the lawsuit until after he said, I'm not consenting to your sending her to St. Louis.
We had made other arrangements.
Just a second. Okay. You have no right to ask him that. You have no right to be angry at him when he says no. This child has 2 parents, a mother and a father. And the Supreme Court of every state in this country says that you have no greater right to custody, unless a court says so, than her father does. He is not a second-class person, and you better think about that. Maternal grandparents don't have a greater right to custody than a child's father. Did you ever go to a hospital when you were a child?
I did.
For what? For what?
I think I put something up my nose.
You put something up your nose. Where were you when you put something up your nose?
I was with my mother.
Your mother. Did they take you away from her and make you a ward of the state?
No.
It was an accident, right?
Yeah, I actually
Was she not?
put it
Just
up
a
my
second.
nose.
Was she watching you carefully? Was she supervising you? If she wasn't supervising you adequately, maybe you should have gone to live with somebody else. Maybe your grandparents. It was an accident. Do you understand? Get over it. Case is dismissed.
Barry Smith says former friend Jeannie LaSalle damaged a Cadillac she was renting from him.
Mr. Smith, the defendant was a friend of yours, and according to your complaint, you rented a car to her, a car that was registered and titled in your name, that you weren't using. You felt sorry for her, that she needed transportation. You told her she could rent it for $20 a day. It is your claim that she owes you for the rental, as well as some damage that she did to the car. Mr. LaSalle says she owes you nothing. How many cars do you rent out, Mr. Smith?
Well, I've never rented out. The proposition was I wanted to sell it to her. It was her idea to rent it.
And when did you have this conversation?
This was March 22nd in the afternoon. It was like after 1 or 2 p.m.
What kind of car is it?
It's a 1987 Cadillac Eldorado Baritz. It's like
So
the
it's
top-of-the-line model for that year. And it's
Well,
in good
top of the
shape.
line. I was a top of the line model in my year too, sir, but this car is now 20 years old.
It's in good running order. It's in good shape. I only had like 92,000 miles on it.
I'm in good shape too, but
I
I'm
can
still
tell.
what I am. You know what I'm talking about?
I can tell.
20-year-old car is a 20-year-old car.
20-year-old car by like 2 owners. It's in
I'm not
good
telling
shape.
you how old I am, and I've only had 2 owners. That still doesn't change anything. You understand?
I understand.
What?
What? I'm supposed to say here.
Mr. Smith, I'm not saying anything bad about your car. I'm just saying it's an old car, sir.
It's an old car.
It's not an antique. It's just an old car.
But it's a Cadillac. That's
Me
different.
too. Listen, so what did you decide to do on March 22nd between 1 and 2 in the afternoon
Well,
with your
I
vintage car?
I gave defendant my phone number. She said she called me back, talk it over with her friend. She called me back in about a half hour and said, yeah, let's do a deal.
Let's do a deal.
Yeah.
What do you mean, let's do a
Well,
deal?
she proposed to rent it. I proposed to sell it. She said she couldn't afford to buy it, so I said...
How much did you want it for?
$20. I wanted $700.
You wanted $700 for the car.
That's all I wanted. She agreed, and I agreed we'll rent it for $20 a day. She went home to talk to her friend. I went home to download a rental car agreement off the internet. I had the paperwork downloaded. I picked them up, and she gave me $20 for the first day. We signed the paperwork. I gave her the keys.
Let me see the paperwork. So you just wanted the car for a week, madam?
No, ma'am.
Did you sign this agreement?
Yeah, when I met Barry on the 22nd, he told me he had cars for rental, 3 cars. I told him I had to talk to my girlfriend and that I would call him back. I did that. We went to go look at the cars. I rented 1 car.
It says here that you're renting this car, and it says what car it is, from March 22nd to March 29th.
He did all the receipts. I also have those. But I wanted to purchase the car. It wasn't rental. And I started renting because I was not working at the time.
All I asked you was, you were supposed to return this vehicle on March 30th. That's what you signed. That's your name.
Yeah, I signed that.
Did you return the car on March 30th?
No, I did not.
Why not?
Because I made more payments towards the car. I was buying the car from him.
Did you have a subsequent agreement?
No. We kept doing the rental contracts. But I would pay him more than going towards the purchase of the car.
Show me. First of all, how long did you keep the car?
Until April 14th.
You kept it for an additional 2 weeks. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
That's not correct, Your Honor. She took 2 rental agreements out. She didn't bring the car back. I had to go to her to get the payments and check on the car because she had moved like 15 miles from me. It began like, she was paying me like 3 days in a row. She paid me At the beginning of the first contract, she paid me the $20.
How many days did she keep the car, sir?
She had the car like 22 days, from the 22nd of March to the
14th of April.
Right.
22 days. And let's do this so that I don't make a mistake. 22 times 20 equals $440. So that's what she should have paid you.
That's correct.
And that's what you would like, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How much did you pay him?
I paid him more than the receipts that he has given.
How much do you claim that you paid him?
Can my witness come up here?
No! How much do you claim that you paid him?
Almost $600 for the car. That was supposed to be bought for $700.
Almost $600.
Almost $600.
Good. And how many receipts do you have, and how much do they total?
$420.
Let me see them, please. I have $400.
If you look, there might be one with the same date and the same amount on it. I think I accidentally wrote 2 receipts for 1 payment.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's
This
the
is a
one for
different one.
$80.
This
One
is
is
a
the
different
white,
one.
yeah.
Right, I'm deducting $80 because it covers the same period
Right.
from 4-3.
I accidentally gave her the wrong
Absolutely
copy
right.
and everything.
Absolutely right. Minus 80, because she gave me a duplicate, equals 320, and she was supposed to give you 440. Ms. LaSalle, that's what you got. You gave him $320.
Can I speak, Your Honor?
Sure.
He just wrote out receipts. When he came to pick up the vehicle, he went home and just wrote out receipts. The only one receipt that me and Barry had actually made was the yellow receipt. So he just made up receipts for whatever he wanted to make out the receipts. I had the car almost paid for.
Just a second. Almost is not good enough. The only proof, and it's proof that you gave me of what you paid for, are these. That's what you gave me. And it says that you're $120 short. What else, sir?
Friday the 13th, she said, come pick up the car. The car's on empty, it's at her house. She was supposed to bring the car back. So I get a friend of mine, we go up to Jeannie's house, get the car, and I said, when are you gonna have my money? She said, next Friday. We took off, went home. I called her the following Friday. She's not gonna pay me my money, I'm not gonna get any money. So I gave her another week, the 27th, which is the day I filed the lawsuit. Jeannie, am I gonna get my money? You ain't getting nothing, do what you gotta do. And that's when I went to the courthouse. The night while I was driving it back, like I said, it's 15 miles, the front end was shaky. It's a front-wheel drive car, and it's dark. It's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. I couldn't see anything, so the next morning, I went out and inspected the car. The right front tire is very low. I take it to a mechanic, have them look at it and get new tires, and they gave me an estimate of what the damages was because the front-end suspension was damaged. I've got damages on the car. The car wasn't brought back in the same state that I gave it to her. And
Fine.
it was,
You wanted to sell the car, sir, for $700. Listen to me.
I wanted to sell it.
Shh. Look at me. You wanted to sell the car for $700.
Correct.
You're going to get $440 for her. Use of the car. You're a couple of $100 short of what you wanted to sell it for. Where is the car now?
I have the car.
Do you drive it?
Yeah, I drive it.
Do you rent it to other people?
No, I don't.
But you use it yourself.
Yes, I do.
So look at what you have. You wanted to sell the car for $700. You're going to get $440, which means that you're just a few dollars off from what you wanted to sell it for, and you have your car. Isn't that great?
Sounds good.
Be happy. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $120, which is what she owes you. Thank you very much. That's all.
Diane Cowan is suing her son, 23-year-old Kenneth Cowan Jr., for car payments and for stealing her tax refund from their shared bank account.
Mrs. Cowan, this is your son. Your lawsuit claims 2 things. First, that you had an arrangement with your son wherein he would use your car and make the payments on it while he was using it until he purchased his own car. You claim that with regard to that portion of your complaint, he did make some payments, didn't pay them all, and ultimately you sent somebody down, your fiancé?
Yes.
Down to pick up the car because he had moved to a different state. So you want him to pay some $1,000 that he should have paid on the car. Second part of your complaint, which I really believe, based upon what I read, is what you're complaining about. You just tacked on, is that you and your son shared a joint bank account. At some point, he withdrew $2,000 from that joint bank account. And he withdrew that money, which was from your tax refund, because you claimed him as a dependent for last year. And he says he's entitled to that money because he was going to file his own tax return as a single individual. But since you had already claimed him as a dependent, he couldn't claim himself. So he took the $2,000 because he said you weren't entitled to it. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I correct, Ms. Cowan, that but for the withdrawal from the bank, we wouldn't be bothering with any money he might owe on the car?
No, we had made a verbal agreement, and I told him that once he took the vehicle to Texas, that he would be responsible for the payments.
Did you have that agreement with your mother?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Fine. At that time, were you going to school, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you also working?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you working full-time or part-time?
Part-time.
Who was supporting you?
I was on academic scholarship and receiving money from Pell Grants.
Did your mother send you any money?
She may have given me a total of $500.
Okay. Is it correct, Ms. Cowan, that for the year 2004, your son was basically self-supporting?
No.
Well, how did you support him?
Okay, by me being a disabled veteran, it took care of his 2 years of college.
Just a second.
Okay.
You're being a disabled veteran and the government picking up part of his tuition means that we supported him, not you. Is it true that he was either self-supporting or on scholarships and or Pell Grants that he's going to have to return?
Yeah, he was on Pell Grants, but I supported him as far as sending monies for groceries or if he ran short.
How much money did you send him for the year 2004?
I would say over $2,000.
Show me.
I don't have it as far as the monetary back. Most of the time I would always deposit it in my account because we shared account.
I have bank statements showing to where there were deposits made on the account, and these are the only cash deposits on the account are ones that I made.
How many times did you withdraw money from this account, Mr. Cowan?
Very rare, maybe once a semester, if that.
So this was primarily your bank account, that you used this bank account to pay your bills?
Yes.
Okay. You have a copy of your tax returns from last year, sir?
Yes, ma'am. My W-2s and my tax return.
So you had an adjusted gross income of a little over $5,600.
Yes, ma'am.
And according to your statement, if I believed you, which I don't, at most you sent your son $2,000.
Right.
Then you were not entitled to claim him as a deduction because you didn't contribute more than 50% of his support. You were not entitled to claim him as a deduction.
Yes, but according to VA, if I had not claimed him as a dependent, then they would not have taken care of his bills. You know, I'm not a...
Just a second. Let us say that because of some regulation, you were required to claim him as a dependent, even though you did not contribute more than 50% of his support. Let's say that that's true. Then what you should have done was discuss it with your son and say, listen, for the purposes of the VA, so that you can continue to have all your classes covered or whatever percentage the VA covers, I have to claim you as a dependent, but I'm going to give you the $2,000. What would have been wrong with that?
Well, I agreed to that. And
so then why are you complaining that he took the $2,000 out of your account?
Because it was the procedures that he took. Now, he know normally there has not denied him of anything.
So you didn't like the fact that he did it in a sneaky way?
That's right.
Okay. She says she didn't like the idea that you were sneaky about it. Well, I think, Ms. Cowan, one of the reasons he might have been sneaky about it was because when he filed his tax returns, he filed them as an independent, and then he was told later that he was denied his refund because you had already claimed him as a dependent. Had your mother discussed the fact that she was going to claim you?
She had said she was going to try to claim me to recoup some money that I hadn't paid her on a car payment. She told this to my uncle.
Oh, well, I don't want to hear about the car payment. Listen to me, Ms. Cowan. As far as I'm concerned, you've got a son that's doing the right thing. If you had a car and you let him take the car so that he could go to school and look for a job, that's what you're supposed to do. You're his mother. How many children do you have?
I have 2.
Okay, well, it seems to me this one is doing okay, which means that your mother probably did something right.
Yes, ma'am.
Should have done the right thing. Shouldn't have made this situation so mucky. Ms. Cowan, irrespective of what he did, you're still his mother, and I sometimes wonder whether I would have I don't have to wonder. I would not have pursued this matter in court. I would have said to him, it's not the right thing to do. What's your first name?
Kenneth.
It's not the right thing to do, Kenneth. You shouldn't have gone behind my back and taken the $2,000 out of the account. I was prepared to give it to you, but you shouldn't have just taken it. I'm not so sure that you were prepared to give it to him, because according to you, he owed you some money on this car nonsense. Can't tell you how many cars I bought my children. If you had not claimed your son